Theodore Roosevelt once said, "The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who knows the great enthusiasms, the great devotions, and spends himself in a worthy cause, who at best, if he wins, knows the thrills of high achievement, and if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who know neither victory nor defeat."
All right, dude, we're in. Like I said, I always get fucking nervous, dude. Like, even my best friend on the plane, I did this. I'm like, dude, are you nervous? He's like, no, you fucking idiot. I've been here since you were 5.
Yeah.
So, dude, introduce yourself, man. I really appreciate you doing this. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
No problem. So my name's Anthony Sherman. I'm from Philly my entire life.
So keep this like a fist of width.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, so I'm from Philly my entire life. Grew up playing sports, everything like that. I went to Judge.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. So from there, just really didn't know what I wanted to do. So I tried like a year or so in college. I just kind of, I didn't attend.
Yeah.
Went through that, did all partying and drinking through there, normal stuff that I thought. And then I became a cop when I was 18.
Right. Oh, shit, 18.
18. And then I was a cop for the last 15 years.
Right.
Until last February. I was just like, nah, I gave it all up.
No shit.
Started a whole new career, whole new path, yeah. So kind of after everything that unfolded, once I got sober, I kind of made a decision. I was like, I need major change in my life.
Yeah.
So I, at the age of 34, I said, fuck it. And I just completely started over everything.
Really? Like,
Yeah.
that's when you got sober at 34?
Yup.
No shit.
Yeah, so I restarted everything, and I was just, I took all the risk. So I went from like a stable paying job to nothing.
Right.
And I just went for it.
No shit.
And I really didn't know the outcome or what was going to happen. I had an idea and I had a plan, but plan goes sideways and everything like that. So it was more of a hobby. I boxed since I was 8 years old. I boxed competitively. I did Muay Thai, everything like that, all combat sports, and it helped me. Like now, I know today, it helped me for my mental health.
I'm sure.
But back then, I was just doing it because it was just something to do.
It was fun.
And I really enjoyed it. So at the age of 30, I stopped. I retired from boxing, and I kind of it's such a selfish sport. And
What do you mean by that?
Meaning, like, when you do, for example, we talked about prior to the podcast, we talked about pouches and shit like that.
Yeah.
I used to do that a lot in college or at parties because I would be cutting weight. So if I had that, I wouldn't eat.
Right.
So that's how I would cut weight. And that's kind of how I got hooked on it. And then it just became like a pure addiction after that. But that's how I would utilize my weight cuts. So it's a selfish sport in the fact that, I couldn't go to parties. I couldn't do certain things because I would have to train or I would have to, cut weight and then get ready to fight and everything.
Right, you got to
like
be
that.
all in.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. So relationships and everything like that, you had to be selfish. Like I couldn't go out to eat like on dates and shit like that, especially when it was getting close to like especially when I was in fight camp. So everything's selfish. Like you got to do your morning runs. You have to hit your training sessions. Everything you do is so meticulous, and you have to be on such like a paramilitary schedule.
Right.
Anything else that interferes just kind of like fucks my entire day up. And the funny thing about that, it relates to like now where I used to be really bad with it, where I'll be like, all right, like I need a schedule. Like I need to be told what to do by somebody, by me. So I need to set a schedule. And I got to the point where like if something fucked up my day, like it fucked up my entire day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And
I know exactly what that feels like.
And it just ruins it.
Yeah.
So, but now I got to the point where I'm like, all right, like I can, kind of go down a different road and then bring it back to
kind of salvage the day.
Correct.
Still.
Yeah. Where before I would just like be like, fuck it. And that's exactly how, especially when I wasn't sober, that's how everything would kind of like one little thing. At the time it was an excuse, but one little thing I'd be like, okay, well, whatever. Like I'll try again tomorrow or something like that.
It's dude, I was just in a meeting yesterday and the dude said, you know, I have bad moments throughout my day. I'm the fucking jerk off who makes the whole day bad though.
Correct. Yeah, exactly. And that's what happens. Yeah. Exactly. Like one thing goes wrong and it's just like, but I have so many things going on in my life now, and that's the way I like it. Sometimes I get to a point where my girlfriend has to like pull me back because I'll try to do one more thing. And
you feel like it's never enough?
Yeah, I feel like it's never enough.
Yeah.
And I feel like if I'm not doing like, not so much like a rest day, but it's the fact of if like, maybe it's kind of chill day, like you get what you need to get done and then you chill the rest of the day. It's like in my head, I'm like, well, I could be doing more. I could be doing more for the business, or I could be doing more for Ringside, or I could be doing more for whatever, you know? So I just feel like I'm never satisfied at that point. But at the same time, it's so easy to get burned out. And that's basically what happened with me in law enforcement. I got burned out.
Did you have issues like with like not necessarily sobriety because you probably didn't even realize it at that point, but did you have issues with drugs and alcohol on the force?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was something that was just always playing around in your head as you were a cop?
Yeah, towards the end of my career, probably my last years when I really got bad and I kind of noticed it, where it was to the point of I considered work more like stage fright. So I would get that anxiety prior to going to work.
Yeah.
So I'll take a couple shots, snort a pill, call it a day, and go to work.
And do your job well.
Yeah, I was a function, right.
Yes.
I mean, I opened my gym when I was my most fucked up.
Really?
Yeah. Because I just still had that. I never lost the hope and dream of doing what I wanted to do and what I wanted to complete. But at the same time, I had so many demons I was fighting that really set me back a lot.
Yeah.
But I was able to, luckily, I had partners and a partner with me in the gym as well. But like, I was just able to, I was so focused on it, dude, nothing was going to stop me. And that's the same mindset I have today, but it's a lot better when you're not like, you know, all fucked up trying to research.
You have no idea how similar like everything you just said so far, like going to college for a year and then dropping out. Yeah. I just went into the union, you went to the police force.
Yeah.
You know, but like I quit the union to go back to college.
Right.
I was high every day at school. Took the test to get into graduate school, high as shit, dude. Yeah. Like just the same shit. But always, like you said, like always had a plan that you knew you wanted to do something big and better, but like you just couldn't figure it the fuck out because you were high all the time.
Yeah, and that's funny. That's what happened because when I was 18, I didn't know what the fuck I wanted to do.
I had a daughter.
Yeah, you had to grow up fast. Then, you know what I mean? So it's like for me, it's so funny that even when I was a cop, I still didn't know what I wanted to do. I still didn't know if that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah, I get that.
And I enjoyed the shit out of it, especially in the beginning. And it soon kind of became my identity. And
being a cop?
Yeah. And I kind of lost touch of like myself as a person. And that's where I kind of got consumed in the fact where this is the normalcy of my life. And that's what I went about it. All my other issues, all my other traumas and situations prior kind of dissipated because I put on, it's kind of like I was living a double life.
Yeah.
Like everyone just knew me as like a young cop and that's it.
You actively thought during the time you were on the force, like these things that you're saying, like I'm living a double life, I'm trying to figure my life out. I'm a cop. I'm hiding from the past. Like, how did you you can't conceptualize it back then when you're in it?
No, all these thoughts that I'm telling you now was when I got sober.
Yeah, you're just looking back now and you kind of
it's just like I'm looking back and I oversee everything that happened.
Yeah.
And I oversee everything that unfolded.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, what the fuck? It was right there. Like it's right in front of you. Like,
and
you
probably people are telling you too.
Correct.
You know what I mean? My dad would tell me all the time, like, you're gonna lose that job, you're gonna lose that girl. I'm like, yeah, I'm good, dude. I'm only doing a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. But for me, it was like going back to living the double life. Like nobody knew. Nobody knew. I was so good at like hiding things.
Yep.
Nobody knew. Until like I had like the outbursts and like really fucked up nights and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But besides that, like none of my coworkers knew, nothing like that. But I wouldn't share anything. I didn't share nothing. Even to my best friends, I never shared anything.
Yeah, I would keep it tight to the vest.
Yeah.
Like not even because I cared what they thought. I just liked the world that I created.
Yeah.
Like the chaotic world that I created that no one
Right.
knew about. I liked it.
Yeah.
I didn't want anybody to know.
Yeah.
So I get that 100%.
And I think going back to what we talked about, where you know, for the first 4 hours of your day, you grind, you work hard, and then you have the rest of the day to spend and do whatever. We're so used to chaos.
Yeah.
I think that calmness kind of like freaks us out a little bit, and I'm getting better with it because I use it as like a reset and spend time, you know, with my girlfriend and her kid and everything like that. But it's to the fact where it took me a while to realize that it's okay to take a little bit of a break.
Yeah. I mean, we texted on Instagram about it. That's a struggle that I have. Like, I knew today you were coming. My wife was out last night. We were at a family party, and she was knocking them back. And I knew she wasn't going to go to the gym with me this morning. But I'm like, the only way that you and I have a productive conversation is if I go. So I just went, did some bullshit, came back, and you know, after this, we had the whole day to do nothing. And she's like, "What do you want to do today?" I'm like, "I don't know."
Yeah, exactly.
I struggle with that. But how long have you been sober?
So I'm early in sobriety. I just hit a year last week.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, so.
That's awesome. So we're like, dude, it's like neck and neck. That's great.
Yeah,
that's great.
yeah.
So like, you're getting used to all the same things that I'm trying to get used to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it was, but the year flew by so fast.
It did.
And I felt like from now to when I first got sober, it's night and day, even in a year. But still, I have. I talked about it in my group. That's funny. The summer kills me, dude, because the cravings and everything like that, the barbecues, the pool parties.
Yep.
I don't know, mowing the lawn and it's nice as shit out. Just excuses
Anything.
I would use. Yeah.
Anything.
But
I got to do the laundry?
Yeah, exactly.
I get it.
So it's the summer that really kills me. But
So this is your second summer that you got through?
Yeah.
Or you're getting through?
I'm getting through, yeah. The first summer, because I got sober July 2nd. And that first summer was brutal.
Where I get it.
It was terrible, man. But I was such in like a lost place. It was like it was everything.
Yeah. So walk me through that part. Like, you know, you just had your year sober July 2nd. So, you know, a year and a week ago, what was that like for you? Where you finally, well, put it this way, did you try to stop before that year, or was it the first time you actually put on? So you were just good to go up until last year, and you finally realized, like, I got to make a change in my life.
Yeah.
How did you do that?
I ended up putting a gun in my mouth.
Oh my God! Did you really?
Yeah.
No shit.
I ended up trying to eat my gun, and luckily I was so fucked up from alcohol and pills, I blacked out, and I woke up the next day with my gun on my lap.
Holy fuck!
Yeah,
dude.
and that kind of scared me. Where that's the first time in 15 years, the very first day I reached out to anybody.
Really?
And that's the first time I talked to somebody about anything.
No shit. So you had no like history, no experience with sobriety or AA or none of that stuff?
Nothing. I knew. Well, let's go back. With my my marriage, we were big drinkers, and she had her own issues with mental health, and I felt like that caused me to be there for her. So I kind of shut my mental health down. I knew I had issues. For a fact, I know I had issues. I just kind of put it to the side to take care of her. Fast forward, we had issues within the marriage, regardless of everything else. But when we would drink, everything would come out.
It would just get way worse.
And it was just super toxic.
Yeah.
And that's when I realized, like, hey, I might have a little bit of a problem. After that, then when I started, like, drinking by myself and doing pills by myself and isolating, that's when I kind of realized, like, hey, I have a problem. But at that time, I was so low, it just became like normal to me.
You had to.
I had to do it to get through the day, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So that was like the first time I knew something was off, but the wake-up call was that day. It was a Thursday.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. I mean, like, you're in a blackout. Like, it could have went a different way.
100%.
And I'm sure you think about that all the time.
So, because it's kind of fucked up. Like, I needed the help with drugs and alcohol, but at the same time, technically, they saved my life, too, because I blacked out.
Yeah, I mean, so it's like... It's like, I got a tattoo on my arm, the obstacle is the way.
Yeah.
Like, you took that horrible moment and turned that into a positive.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
So I was lucky to wake up and actually get scared. I called my best friend. He came over, took all my firearms, threw out all my pills, And then I reached out to actually EAP.
I guess through the cops union,
through the police department.
Yeah.
Yeah. Employee assistance program. And then from there, I met some chick named Roz, and she was cool as shit. And she just kind of listened, and she had a similar story to me. And I was just kind of, for the first time ever, once I talked, it kind of just flew out.
Yeah, you just got honest.
And I just got honest about everything.
Yeah.
And then she was like, you need to go to therapy. And I was like, I tried therapy in the past. I don't like it. I don't want a cookie cutter therapist where you're just sitting there with a book asking me a bunch of questions.
Yeah, like a standardized fucking procedure.
Correct.
I get it.
Correct. So she's like, I got somebody for you. So I ended up going to a guy named John Becker. I walked into the office. I sat down. He had his feet on the desk. He was wearing flip-flops, jeans, and he had a fat lip in. And he just,
This is my dude.
Yeah, exactly. He just goes, I'm going to tell you why I'm so fucked up, and then you're going to tell me why you're fucked up.
Right.
And I was like, okay. And then we just
just blue collar as fuck, dude.
Yeah.
That's great.
Cool as shit. And it just went from there. And that's where I kind of got into therapy, which helped me with my PTSD and everything like that, from being on the job. And I was involved in a few shootings on the job. And then back to when I was 17, I was stabbed 7 times.
Really?
Yeah. So it's things that I should have fucking said, I kept inside and tried to deal with them myself. I had night terrors when I was 17. I couldn't sleep. I was sweating. I was waking up thinking because the guys that stabbed me never got caught. So I figured that
They'd be around.
they fucking be around. I see them again, and things could happen, end up worse.
And probably some revenge in your head too.
Correct.
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, a lot of anger.
Yeah.
A lot of anger. But all that shit I kind of just kept inside, and then dealt with it myself, feeling just pushing it in the back of my mind, and
almost making it seem like it's nothing.
correct.
Which is I can't. I don't have a story like that, but I get that part.
But it's anything.
Yeah, you take the most traumatic thing in your head and be like, "Ah, it wasn't that bad."
Right. It's
That's
anything.
crazy.
Because people deal with trauma different. And one thing that may affect me may not affect you. And it all happened until my last shooting. I was doing I was doing surveillance on a guy that was wanted for a double homicide. And our car ended up getting shot up. We got made and our car got shot up.
Really?
Yeah. And I accepted death there because I couldn't get out of the car. And I was like, all right, today's the day I'm going to die. And I accepted it.
In the moment, that's what you're thinking.
In the moment, I accepted it. I said, I'm okay with this.
Holy shit.
And then I woke up, got out of the car, did what I had to do.
Did you get shot?
No.
No? So what do you mean you woke up?
I snapped out of my trance.
Okay.
I snapped out of my trance.
And you're with a partner right now?
I'm with my partner. We're both stuck in the car.
Wow.
And then we get out, do what we had to do. It ends, whatever. And that's when I knew things were a little weird.
Right.
Because I was I accepted death so easily.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And I was and I felt at peace with it.
All right, fuck it.
Yeah, and I was cool with it. And then, there goes the end of my marriage. And then I move on, and I start this new life. And
Still drinking
every day. And then I met my girlfriend and everything like that. She didn't have any clue in the beginning or anything like that. She kind of came in towards the end of the worst. But she was there since, I opened up to her. I told her what happened. And she's been with me. She's been my rock with me since I got sober. So it's been awesome.
How long have you two been together?
We've been together for about a year now. So
so she saw the worst.
She saw the worst of me? Yeah.
And now she gets to see this.
Yeah, exactly. So it's pretty cool.
So she's this is the person I signed up to be with.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah. So it's really cool. And I think she's helped me graciously through my sobriety as well, my recovery.
Yeah.
Because the way her outlook on life and the way she thinks of things is 10 times different than me.
Yeah.
So it opens my mind a lot more to certain things I didn't think of it that way.
Right.
Or certain shit like that. And a lot of my shit was clouded through being in law enforcement for so many years, and you see nothing but the worst.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to houses on people's worst day. Correct.
Yeah.
So it's you're kind of biased towards certain things just because you see the absolute worst at all times.
Right.
So it's nice to get out of that. So the reason I retired is because I knew if I had another incident, I would end up back on that couch with that gun.
So when did you actually leave the force?
February.
So after you got sober.
After I got sober, like
Man, this is super recent.
I took a bunch of time off. Yeah.
Holy fuck.
I took a bunch of time off. I took probably a year off.
Right.
And I was just running my time. And that was the whole year when I was running my time, I was getting sober.
Mm-hmm.
And then I finally made the decision, my time was coming to an end. And
like where you had to go back, where you had to
correct. Correct. And I knew like if I went back, it would just put me in such a negative place again.
Yeah, you kind of connected the police force to a bad thing.
Yeah, because like the trauma I was exposed to during the police force, I'm not the only one, and so many more cops need help, firefighters, first responders, whatever, need so much more help than what they're given.
Right.
But I just accepted it because I had to. I put myself in such a place where I thought taking my own life was the only way out.
Yeah.
So it kind of like it forced me to make a change, or it's just going to come to an end basically. So I had to make that change, and I learned throughout my my recovery, which everyone does.
Yeah.
My drug and alcohol abuse was just coping for my
just
mental
a
health.
symptom. Yeah.
It was all mental health with me.
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard to like.
They go hand in hand.
They absolutely do. Like my wife just asked me the other day if I was still sober because I got some things going on in my head with work, and I can't. The future doesn't seem as clear as it used to. The further along I get with my degree, the more scared I get about what life's gonna look like when I'm done, and it's just been in my head, dude. I kind of ruined the last couple of days of vacation, and she's like, "What's going on with you?" I'm like, "I don't fucking know."
Yeah,
I don't know.
Don't.
I don't know. I talked to my therapist about it. You can kind of share certain things about that in an AA room, but sometimes it's just you're in a dark time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I haven't stopped. And you probably do the same thing. I don't stop doing the things I'm supposed to do every day, but I'm just not okay sometimes in my head.
Yeah,
I just put too much pressure on myself.
Yeah, I think I do the same thing. Like my girl always asks me, like she always like checks on me.
Yeah,
and like sometimes I'm like, no, I'm good. And I don't get frustrated, but I'm like, no, I'm good. Like clearly I'm good. But in my head, it's one of those things I created. So I understand it fully.
Yeah.
It's my own doing. But I do get it in my head a lot. And I do play certain things, and like my mind will go 100 miles an hour, where it's like, if I did everything I did today, I'm thinking of tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm thinking the next day. And I need to do this for the business. And I need to do this for, Ringside. I need to do this. Something as stupid as I need to do the laundry. Like it just drives me insane.
Yeah.
But that's where like my therapist told me, I made fun of him because he fucking keeps this little stupid fucking book, and he writes his whole schedule down.
Yeah.
All the way to a T. And then he has like his open time where it's like he can make phone calls or emails or anything like that. And the shit that's not important, he puts on for the next day.
Mm-hmm.
So he makes this list and he checks it off, and there's satisfaction, by checking off your list. And I make fun of him for it all the time. But then I started, and I was like, yeah, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah. I had a guy on that Sean Dugan 2-3 weeks ago. He said he does the same thing. Marble copybook, makes a list, even something as small as doing the laundry.
Yeah.
And he's like, he calls it's like a layup.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Another check
Mm-hmm.
is like you said, you kind of see you're being productive throughout your day. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty neat.
But that's what we need, I feel like. And then, like you said, if that hiccup comes in, that's where everything gets thrown the fuck off.
Yeah. My story, like for years, is like I just use the gym as an example. If I get out of work a little bit later than I thought I was,
mm-hmm.
and the time I thought I was going to go to the gym has now been delayed, well, then I won't go.
Yeah.
And then because I didn't go, I won't go to a meeting, and then that's one day, and then that turns into two,
mm-hmm.
and then it's just same thing over and over again, and then a relapse.
Right.
Now it's like you said, you do. It's like, if the day gets shaken up, okay, I have enough discipline, I'll work out in my fucking garage. I'll still make a meeting, you know what I mean? I'll still call my sponsor, but I'm getting better with that. That was something for years that kept me out. Like if my routine got broken up, guaranteed I'm relapsing.
Right.
Maybe not that day, but it's coming.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to do something. Like maybe it's not the exact thing you needed to do, but it's something.
Yeah.
Something's always better than nothing.
I agree.
So regardless, if you wanted to go to the gym, like you said, maybe you don't have the opportunity. You just do like a 10-minute like
anything
body circuit, just something to get the mind off.
Because that's as important to me as AA. And like, I can't really say that in a fucking AA meeting, but the gym is as important to me as AA. Like I need to get that out of my system almost daily.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I get that completely because I'm a little bit. I find other avenues besides AA and NA, and I do that for me, and it just
It works.
Yeah, some people look at it a little different, but it's my journey. It's my program. I can do whatever I want.
Yeah, this old head down the shore at the meeting, she says, "What works for you might kill me,
Right.
and what works for me might kill you."
Right.
So like you know how some of the old heads are. Some of the old head sober dudes, like you don't go to meetings, you don't do X, Y,
you're
and
going
Z.
to hell.
Yeah, like there's more than one way to skin a cat. You know what I
Right.
mean? Especially now, it's 2024. It's just different. It's
Right.
not like back in the day, like go to a meeting every day, just don't drink for one day. Like there's a lot of things going on in my head, bro. It's more than that.
Yeah.
So I get it 100%.
Yeah, I can't sit in a room and think about not drinking for 24 hours a day and not do anything else.
Yeah.
And I can't sit in the meetings all fucking day.
Yeah.
Because majority of them, you hear the same fucking story.
You do.
Over and
You
over
do.
again.
You do.
And I like hearing different stories because you can relate to anybody and everyone. And that's a cool thing about honestly getting sober is like you don't have the opportunity to listen to other people. Like you would have never been in a room with these people, and then you listen to them, and then you can relate to anything and everything. It's so funny.
Yeah,
you can have 7 people talk, and you can relate to each one of them.
Absolutely.
7 different ways.
Well, the best part about sobriety, regardless of AA, like I know because you're sober that at one point in your life it was fucking terrible.
Right.
And the same for me.
Yeah.
And that's like the thing that connects all people in recovery, whether it's AA, NA, or whatever. Because I know at some point it sucked.
Yeah.
So I can relate to that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I get that 100%.
Yeah, and honestly, like it's way better now, but there's some days that still suck because even though I'm sober, it's like you kind of like you said you're so hard on yourself with everyday things. Well, especially with sobriety, say you have a craving or like you said, you fucked up the last days of your vacation. Like it plays a toll on you. Like why? And you try to go back and you try to figure it out. And sometimes you can't figure it out. It's just there. It's just part of it.
Yeah. And I don't know how it is with your girlfriend, but I feel bad for my wife when I get like that.
Yeah.
Because I'm like taking what's supposed to be like this awesome time. I don't know if it's like a momentary depression or I don't know what it is. And I'm like sucking the life out of the situation sober. You know what I mean? The only difference now is at 8 months, like I'm not relapsing over it.
Right.
You know what I mean? But like I feel fucking bad.
Yeah.
She works as hard as I do and we go, and it's like I'm just being a fucking Debbie Downer for like 2-3 days at a clip. And it's gotten better, but my therapist says, like, dude, you've been drinking and getting high for almost 2 decades, dude. Your body doesn't just level out in fucking 8 months.
No, it takes,
you know what I mean?
They said it takes like 18 months or something. My therapist was like explaining to me fucking science and shit. But it was pretty cool. He said 18 months for the brain to fully, redevelop and kind of like all that damage to it. Kind of go back
Makes
to normal.
sense. I mean, we're shocking our system every fucking day.
Exactly.
Dude. You're taking it to the extreme every day.
Exactly. So it's something that I don't think will ever go away though. Like
I'm
those
starting
moments,
to think that.
those little depressions, like I have them too. And my girl would just ask me if I'm all right, and she'll be there to listen. When I stuck the gun in my mouth, and then the next day is the first day I spoke up, that's my mindset, and that's part of my transformation with everything. So before I wouldn't say shit about anything at all. Now, no matter how minor or major, I have to get it out.
Yeah.
If I don't get it out, it'll eat me up.
Well, that's funny you say that because I went to Karen Treatment Centers for rehab this time, and the thing they beat you over the head with, the opposite of addiction is connection. And, and like what you said, what seems like so small and not worth even talking about could just turn into a fucking thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like I like almost put too much energy in Monday's gonna suck.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now it's like, well, I already put the energy out there. It's going to fucking suck.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm trying to get better with like kind of like displacing my energy, if that makes sense. Because if you feed the beast, it's just going to get worse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, but it's a fucking struggle, man.
Yeah.
I was talking to my sister-in-law last night at this party, and I'm like, it's a lot. I'm overwhelmed every fucking day of my life.
Right.
It's a lot.
Yeah, you're fighting with yourself.
Yeah, and like I can't always open up to Megan, my wife, because well, it's a lot. I can, but I feel like I can't. I like bottle it up for some reason.
Yeah, there's certain things I feel like, and that's why I created Ringside, and I started as a hobby. But we talk about that shit. Like in our open discussions, I don't run it the way AA does it. I run it the fact how like it would help me in reality. Bills, family, life. We talk about shit that like we bottle up that eventually explodes because that has a huge factor on us.
Yeah.
People don't understand that like all that like little dumb shit, it bottles up. So if you learn how to handle those things, like your day will be much better and you'll get through that day. Also, for men, it's a little bit more harder to speak. Not so much you feel like you're going to be judged, but it's the simple fact of like, no matter what you tell me, I'll be able to understand it. Whether I haven't gone through it or anything like that, I'll be able to understand it. We think differently than women.
Fucking men.
Yeah, it's just like, but we handle it differently. So I like to go, if I have a room of 6 dudes for Ringside, I like, you tell your story, whatever the fuck's bothering you. Can be the dumbest fucking thing, like the dumbest thing. We'll get 6 opinions to you.
Okay.
6 different opinions. And we keep a group message and everything like that. So anything bothering anyone during the week, they just put it in there and they get 6 different opinions, 7 different opinions, however, like many people are in the group.
So tell me a little bit more. Like when's the like you have meetings at the gym or like give me a rundown because I want to get to one this week.
Yeah, it's fun as shit. The energy's awesome.
Yeah.
So basically, me and the guy named Wayne Arthur, he was in my IOP. He was in my outpatient because I went to a support group through that. So he just needs something different than AA, and he's all about working out and everything like that. So we kind of created this group where, hey, let's work out for 45 minutes. Let's do a boxing workout or strength conditioning workout. And then let's sit down and talk. But I said, let's sit down and talk not just about sobriety, but let's sit down and talk about everyday life. The main thing with Wayne and I it was our mental health the whole time. We just used alcohol and drugs as a coping mechanism. Not saying that we're not addicts. It's just that our mental health was the main fucking reason why we exploded and utilized those substances.
I agree.
To get through the day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I didn't want just people who were trying to get sober in the group. I wanted people who have mental health issues. They don't need an addiction to come to the group. Like, I want those people to come and speak. So we sit down and we talk about anything, relationships, bills, family, fucking sitting in traffic, like shit like that.
All shit that is part of your life.
Correct.
I get that's awesome.
Correct.
Okay.
So we always have a topic of the day, but if we have a new member come in that day and something's bothering them, we talk about that, whatever it may be. And I like to utilize it to get 6 different opinions or 7 different opinions, how many people, 10 people, whoever shows up, everyone has to give an opinion.
Okay.
Because one thing may work for you, may not work for another. So it's kind of us like being able to speak out as men and help each other out with things that we bottle up that eventually helps us explode. Because what happens to me, and it's probably similar to you, if you had a bad day, they say never bring work home and shit like that.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's tough.
It's tough.
So like one of the topics was what happens if you have a bad day at work and then you're going home to your family or your girlfriend or your wife? How do you separate that? And we went through a bunch of different opinions. Like for me, I like listening to music, driving around. Maybe I drive around the block one more time or something like that. Like listen to a podcast, kind of mellow out and kind of like separate it and be like, it's not a big deal. The day's over with. We start a new day tomorrow and go in. Just so you don't have to bring that negative energy into your home.
Right.
Because it does play a toll.
Absolutely.
And then your wife or your girl is going to get pissed at you because, you're having
because you're being
day.
a bitch because you had a bad day.
Right, exactly.
And that's like my wife would say, "Why are you being a bitch today?"
Yeah. And it's not like they'll be pissed at you, but they're like, "Yo, you're like a Debbie Downer right now."
Yeah, you're
dude.
sucking the life out of me.
Yeah,
right
exactly, exactly. So it's like shit like that. So,
how often do you guys do the meetings?
So we do it every Wednesday at 7:15 at my gym at 6422 Hagerman Street in Tacony. So my gym's called Valhalla Mindset.
So when you say the business, is that what you're talking about? The gym as the business, and then
Yeah.
Ringside is something you do in the gym.
Yep, that's something we do in the gym. We started as a hobby, but now we're really, really pushing it because it's something so different.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's really, really different, and I
So
love
when
it.
you work out first, at 7:15, and then you do the group after.
Yeah, so we do 45 minutes of working out, and like we literally just fucking scream at each other and motivate each other.
Nice.
It's very competitive and everything like that. The boxing portion's fun, you learn, but like we do strength and conditioning, and it's just so motivating. The whole reason behind it, the whole concept, Like we have fun, we scream, fucking put on fucking hardcore music.
Yeah.
And just get through it. And it's people, the cool thing is people of all ages. We got guys that are 20, 30, 50.
Really?
Yeah, it's really, really cool.
No shit.
And the whole purpose is it's your workout. You push yourself. The only thing I ask is you don't quit on yourself. I don't care if you move at a fucking snail's pace. Just keep moving. And the whole concept behind that is people think, you know, oh, well, you're hard on people. No, the reason behind it is because, like, life doesn't give a fuck if you're tired.
Yep.
Bills aren't going to stop. Work ain't going to stop. Your boss don't give a fuck if you're tired and you're late. You just use it as an excuse. So if you give up on yourself in the gym, you're going to give up on yourself out there.
Yeah, where else? Yeah.
Right. So if we're able to build that mental strength by maybe you can't go anymore, but you give me one more fucking rep or you give me one more push. You learn to help these guys, you know, get through fucking struggles.
Right.
You know, and be, you know, have them see like, oh shit, I could go one more. I could do this. So when all these little battles that we talk about that some people think, well, that's so minor, but in our head it's not. We blow it up to fucking the biggest thing in the world. Yeah. Where we're just like, oh, well, it's not that bad, or fuck it, bring it on. Like I'm not afraid of that no more. Like I'll get through it one way or another. Whether it's the worst day in the world, I'm still gonna wake up, you know, the next day, right, and start over. So
and it probably is amazing for the group after to have had a tough workout, and then I would imagine you're able to discuss things a little bit more openly because you just kind of grind it out, like jiu-jitsu, right? I've done jiu-jitsu for a couple of years, and like after that, like you have a connection with these people. Yeah, we're just fucking rolling around for fucking 45 minutes to an hour. Exactly. Same thing with the workouts, and now we're gonna talk. That's pretty cool, man.
And it's funny because you see these dudes. The last guy that came in, he was just like, I'm an introvert. Like I've been an introvert my whole life. You know, he went through the workout. Pushed himself, fucking laying on the ground, exhausted. He gets up, and we go to discussion, and I don't even talk about anything, nothing about a topic. I didn't even introduce myself or anything yet to the group, and he just starts talking, and we just let him talk. Yeah. And he's like, oh fuck, like I didn't even realize like I was talking. I was just like, he was still trying to catch his breath, and like he just let everything fucking out. So it was really cool to see, and that's that's my mindset, and the fact of where, like, you know, just get it out. Once you get it out, it feels so much better. But it's the hardest thing to get it out. It's tough. It's tough. So tough.
It's like I'm trying to find the metaphor for it, but like once it starts, it's like the floodgates are open. You just diarrhea the mouth. And, exactly. You know what I mean? And then you feel better. Yeah. And then you feel better.
But you don't even realize you're talking at a point. It's just like you're having a conversation and you're spilling all this shit that you never thought you would before. Yeah. And then you realize you learned something about it. And that's the cool thing about it. Like, you actually learn, like, when you get sober, like, you know, like, you can't just open one door. You got to open all the doors and fix everything as a whole. If you try to fix just one thing and not the other three, you're going to be fucked.
Yeah, it's like a step-by-step process, man. I agree. So you guys, have you thought about doing more than just one day?
Yeah, so as we grow. So, like I said, it started as a hobby, but now I'm really pushing it. I'm getting, like, NAMI involved and everything like that. National Association of Mental Illness.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like
no shit.
Yeah, we teamed up with Crunch Fitness and everything like that too. So we're really pushing it. I want to get to luckily I have the gym as a venue, you know what I mean?
So you started the gym before even thinking of this?
Correct. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I did it when I got sober, and I was like, I just want something else.
Straight up boxing gym?
Yeah, it's boxing. We do boxing, kickboxing, and strength and conditioning.
No shit. All right.
Yeah, so all striking at the gym. No jiu-jitsu yet. So we'll see in the future. But yeah. So when I opened that, and then I got sober for a little bit, and I was just like, I need something different. So, like I said, it was just a hobby, and now we do it every Wednesday at 7:15 and we call it Ringside Recovery. And now we're really, really pushing it. Yeah. And eventually I do want to get more days in because it's so helpful.
Well, it helps.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm coming Wednesday.
Yeah, dude. So definitely coming.
I am coming.
It's fun. It's fun.
Yeah. Like we were away half of June. So this would be great. Plus, you know what I mean? Like, it'd be cool to connect with another person. You know what I mean? Sometimes I get stuck in the same circle. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm an introvert, but sometimes it's just the same people every day. So like to do something different. You know, I'm excited. I'm going to do it.
Yeah, do something different. Yeah.
Plus, you can teach me how to fight.
Yeah, there you go. You'll like it, though. I promise you'll like it. Especially because, like, I always see you on your videos. You're, like, running and shit like that. Yeah. And, like, I know, like, it'll help you so much. And it's just something so different. But, like, that's what I want to do. I want to get connected with other people. So I'm reaching out to other programs. We're not even a nonprofit. People ask if we take insurance. No, I don't take shit. I ask just for whatever you can give a donation. Yeah. That's upkeep with the gym, and that's for like guys that are like members that consistently come back. We ended up buying them their own gloves and stuff like that. Like we're gonna go at the end of July. I'll let you know. We're gonna go rocking at Wissahickon.
No shit.
Yeah,
that's beautiful.
Just to do something outside of the gym as well. So, and just fucking sit in nature and talk about shit. But
so when you started the gym, did you have a goal at that time that has changed from then to now? Like is there we all have ultimate goals, and things kind of move and go sideways along the way. Like what's your vision for, let's say, a year from now?
So my vision is to keep the gym up and running. We've only been open for about 9 months now. And I just want to create an atmosphere. Number one, fight gyms are intimidating to go into.
They are, especially when you're older,
right? Exactly.
Because like some people have been doing it for so long. You walk in, you're like, fuck.
Yeah, exactly. My gym isn't so much, and usually when I came growing up in Philly with boxing gyms, you would just hit a bag for like an hour, and maybe a coach may pay attention to you. Right. We have more like group training where it's a little bit more one-on-one training as well. We have small group classes, and there's always a coach, to help everyone. You're not going to be the back of the gym, clueless and be like lost. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's always going to be someone there for you. I just want to build the gym. I want to build the brand. I want people to know we're fucking there. We're on a back street, so we're just trying to get our names out.
Yeah,
there.
I grew up 5 blocks away, man.
Yeah,
7020 Hagerman Street.
Exactly. So we're on like a little back street. So people are starting to get to know us and everything like that, which is good. I want to really build the kids program, but I want that to flourish. But on the same thing, I want Ringside. I decided I want it to be a nonprofit by next year.
So what does that entail? Like, I've heard that term a million times, obviously. So how do you do that?
So you have to, you need to have like a system of people that have certain jobs, like a secretary, a treasurer, everything like that.
Right.
And basically when you become a nonprofit, you can get a grant writer and write for grants and everything like that. So you can expand your organization in whatever sense you want that for. For me, I would love to have a separate location for Ringside than the gym, where I can create like an office, a big group space for discussion, and then another space for like the working out portion, and keep them like separate entities. Like
just the boxing gym and then the Ringside.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I would love to keep it two different things. For now, like it's perfect in my gym. Like, I have no issue with it, but I really, really want to grow it.
Right.
And I think it's something so different that I can grow it.
It's it's fucking amazing. It's recovery in a different form.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it sounds fucking super exciting.
Yeah. And I just want to keep on my mission, just pushing and trying to, help people on the way. And that's all I give a fuck about anymore. It's just, you want to make the money and everything like that. But honestly, for me, it's just, I want to be able to like change people here and there, just help somebody out that fucking was stuck in that. I never want to see anyone in the same position I was.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah,
but it's great because you have like the whole like AA. Like for me, everything's discipline. You know what I mean? Going to a meeting every day, going to the gym every day is discipline. But with the Ringside, it's crazy because you got the discipline of the fitness, right, and then you have the openness of the discussion,
right,
that kind of hones in everything you just went through.
Yeah,
and like it just helps you keep growing.
Right, and like I said, we have a group message. That we have, like one of our members is 2 weeks in Puerto Rico, so we're on them. Like, if you have any issues, just fucking text us. So we're on them, like holding them accountable. And like for me, it holds me accountable. Like, who am I to come in all fucking high and drunk and be like, oh, you need to, like, it holds me accountable, and that's what I think. Like, I see it as like, I see that people not so much look up to me, but like I'm the one that created this, Wayne and I. And if we come in fucked up, people are gonna look at us like,
fraud.
Yeah,
that's what I would always call me. You're a fucking fraud.
Exactly.
Well, and that's why I started the podcast. It's like it's not necessarily and I could speak honestly about it. It's not a monetary thing. Like I don't even care. Like I just want to be able to have these kinds of discussions with people that are doing great things, and I can't do this with you if I just fucking was drinking. Right. Just the whole thing wouldn't make sense.
Right.
So I get it 100%.
Yeah, it holds you accountable.
Yeah.
And like it puts you in a place where you're not necessarily thinking about your sobriety, but you probably have so much focus on this podcast at the end of the day, it's under the umbrella of sobriety.
Absolutely. It keeps me out of my head. You know what I mean? It's like you said, another layer of accountability.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And it just, you're helping other people. And it's also like cool, like connections like you and I. Like,
Yeah.
And like I want to do fucking events and everything like that. And like I would fucking put your podcast on. Like it's just cool to like, there's so many other dudes I met in sobriety, like Consequence of Habits. They're fucking, it's an awesome fucking organization.
Consequences
of Habits. Okay. They're called. They're fucking awesome. They have like, me and him are in the talks of like getting an event together. So is Tool Shed Boxing as well. We're in the talks about that. They're from Allentown. And I went to an event last year with my girlfriend. I'm going again next weekend. It's like breathwork event. So she was a yoga instructor for years, and it's Wim Hof. And I was like,
is that a form of breathing?
That's a form of breathing. Yeah. He's the fucking motherfucker that's in the like ice water, like in fucking overseas, just like walking in like 0
I think I might have seen that.
Yeah.
I think Joe Rogan was talking about that. Dude. Yeah. That's fucking insane.
It's crazy. So it's like, I went there and I was like, whatever. And people are breathing like all heavy, like, and I'm just like looking around like, what the fuck?
It's weird.
Next thing you know, they put us through this breathing program and like they put us through this exercise. And you hold your breath and you let it out and everything. Next thing you know, like I'm asleep. I was holding my breath for over 2 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
Straight.
We were holding our breath.
Never practiced that before.
No fucking clue. And I'm just sleeping, I thought, but I wasn't. You're like in a state of like euphoria and shit.
Dude, they were just talking about this on Rogan, how you can have like a, you know how like when you take, I've never taken acid before, like DMT, but it puts you in a state of like you're tripping, but it's through breath work.
Correct. And that's exactly what it does.
That's crazy.
And they explain the science.
I thought it was bullshit.
No, it was so fucking crazy. And then from there is when we take the ice bath. So they make it 37 degrees. And when you go into have you ever done like a cold plunge and all?
Once.
All right. Well,
I bitched out after like 48 seconds.
Nah,
dude.
We'll do it again.
Okay.
Nah, we'll do it out front. We'll do it out front of my gym. So, but I want to get together with them to do like a boxing workout, like discussion, and then like a fucking ice bath. Because what happens is when your body goes into shock, so you have to get your breathing together, right?
Yeah.
But like after like that hour of fucking breath work, you go in there and it's like nothing.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Dude, this is
it's
like
cold as fuck. I'm not gonna lie, but like you're able to like take that energy where in your head you're like, oh, just give up, get out, and the bitch and you just like, nah, just breathe, bro.
Your inner bitch.
Just breathe, bro. But no, it's the truth. Like my girl woke up and she's like, it was like a state of euphoria, and I was a little jealous because she's over there like all tingly and shit. I'm like, what the fuck? But she's also like explained it to the fact of like, she's like, hey, like I did yoga, like I know how to breathe properly. So I'm excited to see next weekend, like, because I did it before, if I'm gonna get a different experience. Some people see shit, dude.
Yeah,
they like
that's
hallucinate and stuff.
Yeah.
So it was like it was pretty cool. I thought it was gonna be silly, but like the way they explain them and what they do is like, it's pretty cool. A lot of their members and their affiliates are fucking like triathletes and shit.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. It's all like first responders, military and stuff like that, but they support everyone. And they're crazy over there, dude. They do like 150-mile fucking rucks and shit like that. Crazy. A lot of their affiliates that they support and all. Yeah. Yeah. It's a guy, JT. He's awesome. He's cool as shit. And he helps me so much with like I started doing a lot more speaking.
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, especially in like I just did a PTSD thing for law enforcement in Baltimore.
No shit.
About how they can handle it better. And I sent him my speech because he did a lot of public speaking and stuff like that.
That's scary.
Yeah, it's scary.
How's that for you?
Fucking hate it.
Yeah, it's nerve-wracking.
But now I'm cool with it. It's kind of like school to me, where if it was something I'm super. Not even school, like a book. Right. Something I'm super interested in, I'll read it. Right. Cover to cover. If I'm just trying to read, I'm not going to get through it. Yeah. So you got to be into it. Yeah. Speaking about my story, speaking about Ringside.
Comes natural.
Yeah. Super natural. Yeah. But if you tell me that like you have to do research on this, and this.
And do a presentation.
Yeah. You're like I'm not going to be there. Like I'm going to treat it just like school and just not show up and not do it. You know what I mean? Like.
That's great. Yeah. What about kids? You ever think about working with kids, like schools and stuff like that?
I would love to. Yeah. I think like our kids program at Valhalla, we teach them, the whole purpose of it is discipline. And then we teach them not to utilize what we teach them in the gym outside. Only for like certain situations, stuff like that. But it's more of like a big brother system. That's what we try to affiliate with like the kids. Like we try to teach them like life values and everything, like following directions. Like we'll use an example. Like when you're working, your boss is going to give you directions. You need to follow the directions and everything like that. The cool thing about my gym, and I've noticed a lot of teenagers that are joining, never played a sport, only played like video games, and they're kind of loners. So when they come in, they're very quiet, and then after like a couple months, they start to like become themselves. But they're surrounding themselves like with adults, not kids their age. So whether they're more mature or whatever it may be, and they're kind of just like loners, like in their age group. They're coming out to like their own. It's really cool to see them flourish.
See them grow.
Yeah, and it's really, really cool.
Yeah. It seems like the possibilities are endless, man. They really do.
Yeah. And that's a cool thing. That's the cool thing about it. Like not only I can do whatever I want with the gym, but with Ringside I can do so many different things. And right now it's just a men's program, but like I have no issue like allowing like women to like getting women to come, but I felt uncomfortable like not speaking in front of people and trying to get men to speak to like run that program. So I would love to find like a female like to help me run like a women's class. That would be awesome. Yeah, because I don't want to. I think it would just be uncomfortable.
Well, that's why they have men's meetings and women's meetings.
Correct.
They'll say different things in front of a group of women than they would in front of a group of men and women. And I'm the same way when I share. Like I wouldn't say specifically certain things if I knew women. You know, I get that. You're more comfortable.
Yeah, but I'm all for that. I want to eventually get to like having women's meetings for Ringside.
That's awesome.
Because I think women would even benefit from it as well.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's the same thing, you know.
They're no like we're different because you know men and women are different, but the struggles of whatever it took you to get to a point where you're working on your recovery is the same.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's the same.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And
then kids, I mean, who knows? It's not so much kids with addictions, like at a young age, I want to worry about too much. There are, and there's people that start very, very young. But I think the main thing for kids, like especially like tweens or teens, is mental health, like the bullying and all that.
Well, social media is so much.
It's fucking terrible.
It's not.
Now.
We didn't have it growing up.
No, thank God.
I mean? So you
dude.
do something fucking stupid at school, the whole school knows about it the next fucking day. I can't imagine what my life would be like if I had to go through grade school right now.
Yeah, dude, fucking at all those fucking keg parties and shit.
Dude. You know, it's just. It's fucking terrible.
Yeah.
The bullying and the bullshit, the cyberbullying, like my daughter went through it. It's fucking terrible.
Yeah.
These motherfuckers are ruthless.
Yeah.
Ruthless, dude.
Yeah.
You know, they bullied my wife, right? We got married. Our wedding got postponed because of COVID and all this bullshit. So we did a drive-by in April of 2020, the height of COVID. Our whole world shut down.
Right.
But our wedding got canceled, and so our family set up a drive-by. Some fucking asshole around the corner saw that we did it and posted all over social media. They ganged up on my wife, called her racist. You know, you don't follow the rules. Like they're calling other fucking girls on the internet. Wait till so-and-so gets involved. Then you're really in trouble. And I'm thinking like, these motherfuckers. Dude. Like, grow the fuck up, dude.
Yeah.
So
it's brutal.
It's fucking brutal.
But that's what I want to hit on. I think kids like that, they kind of just remind me of myself where like, you get bullied or something's going on and they're not going to talk. They're not going to fucking talk at all.
Yeah.
So these kids actually, at the gym, they open up to me, which is cool.
Yeah.
Because I'm not their parents.
I was going to say that. It's probably, sometimes it's easier to open up to a perfect stranger.
Exactly.
That you've grown to feel comfortable with than as your own parents.
Correct. So that's what I kind of utilize it for.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So it's just all, it's all slowly coming together, dude.
Yeah,
and
it seems like that.
You asked me what I want in a year. Who knows? It could fucking change. But on both aspects, I definitely want to grow, and I'm going to grow Ringside as big as fucking possible. That's like my new.
Why not?
It's my new little infant that I'm just.
It's fucking sounds amazing, dude. Do you guys do like check-ins as far as recovery? Like if somebody is trying to stay totally sober, like do you look at their 30, 60, 90 days? Do you guys quantify that, or is it just you're coming in trying to do well? Like, what do you do specifically for someone that's just stopped drinking?
So
is there a part of that?
Yeah. So that's what me and Wayne actually just had this discussion the other day. We we want to hold people accountable for certain things. So as far as check-ins where people, we know if someone comes at a meeting for 2-3 weeks and they don't show up for a couple weeks,
When something happens, something's off.
Something's off,
Yeah.
right? So we go try to reach out to them. We try to find them. We try to bring them back to the meeting, talk to them, help them out. But it's kind of like, I know for a fact if you don't want the help, you're not going to take it at that time.
Yeah.
So we kind of just try to keep the doors open, and we try to, we just try to help the best we can.
Just by being available.
Correct.
Yeah.
Now, if people, and we're available 20, like me and Wayne always have our phones on us. Everyone has our numbers. Like, they can reach out whenever. But even if someone's like, we don't frown upon if like you come in and then you relapse.
Right.
It happens.
It does. A lot.
As long as you fucking come back.
Yeah.
And just continue to try and try and try. Like, but if you're continually coming in like fucked up, and there's no attempt at trying, it's we're gonna have a little conversation.
Right.
Because we need to figure something out. We need to help them get through.
Something's not working. How can we help
Correct.
you?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But if like I don't want to hold people back that are just like getting sober and they relapse like 6 times, like just come the fuck in. That's all you have to do. All you have to do. Same thing with my gym. Same thing. I run my meetings the same way. All you have to do is fucking come in my door, and that's it. Everything else is taken care of.
Yeah.
You're gonna get your workout in. I'm gonna tell you exactly what to do. We're gonna sit down for discussion. Everything. You just have to show up. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty fucking awesome.
And we're gonna start making like coins and shit like that, like for like people's like accomplishments.
It's exciting to get your coin.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like I'm excited to get my 9-month coin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I imagine, if like the ringside version of that will be exciting for whoever's involved in that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a layer of accountability. It's kind of like, every once in a while, dude, I'm 41. I still like to get a pat on the back every once in a while. And like, it helps with recovery.
Yeah,
like somebody else recognizes your hard work.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And that's what we're going to do. So we're in the midst of like talking about that. If not coins, maybe it's like something as simple as like Philly tickets. Something like incentives. You know what I mean? Everyone loves incentives. So,
dude, did you ever think after like when you first got sober, like that this would be the place you're in? Because it sounds amazing. You know what I mean? When you started this journey, did you think it was going to end up being like this?
Nah, not at all.
Because it sounds like you have so many options, and it's nonprofit and just different other organizations you're connecting with.
Yeah.
It's like it's fucking awesome, man.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And all it is honestly, I'm just like ruthlessly reaching out to like larger companies that I would never be able to touch. And I'm just being honest. I literally write 6-7 paragraphs and just tell them my story from start to end.
Yeah.
And I'm just super transparent. And I tell them, even like I've had meetings with like executive directors of like companies. And,
Wow.
And I'll be professional, but I'll be myself. Like I'll still curse. Like I'm from Philly. I'm still gonna curse. And
you know
like
how to be like, you know how to be professional, get your point across,
right.
but be authentic.
And that's what I want to do. I never want to lose that. Like you're never gonna see me fucking in a suit. Like, at a meeting, you know what I mean? I'm always wearing a hat.
Yeah.
It's just
That's you.
It is the way it is. Exactly.
Yeah, you can't lose that.
Right. But I'll be transparent as possible. I think for me, when I realized how much of a role it played in my life with my relationship with Lauren, with her daughter, I realized that like this was the person I was always supposed to be.
Yeah.
And then like my eagerness to help people just grew. And I just wanted to create something that like so many people can use besides me. Like when you start a business, you want to profit from it. Mm-hmm. Makes sense, right? You want to make money to pay your bills, but you also want to help people. Mm-hmm. As far as Ringside, that's all my own time. I just want to fucking help people. That's it. Because I never want to. I don't want people to be in the situation I was. And for me, my drive to not drink, not do drugs, is because like I'm gonna end up in the same position where it's not like I relapse and like I do some fucked up shit. Like, no, I'm going to end up with a gun in my mouth.
It's going to be bad.
1,000%.
It's going to be bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm going to end up. And I know that. And that's why I had to make so many changes in my life and completely transform my life at the age of 34.
Yeah. That's fucking amazing.
I went from X amount of money.
Making as a cop.
To fucking, I don't know what I'm going to do the next day. And I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. And, I work with my cousin in his contracting company and everything like that. But it's still a struggle every day because I'm not making. I lived so many years making that means.
Yeah.
But now, like, I kind of just restart it, and I'm much more happier fucking broke.
Isn't it amazing?
Yeah, it's
funny. Fucking amazing, dude.
Yeah, and like my girlfriend Lauren, like, she's my rock. She supports everything I do, and she's all for everything, and she like motivates me to do it. And that's how I know like everything is great. Like, that's how I know I'm going to continue to grow. Like, I do you know Hopeaholics? Have you ever seen? Okay, so Hopeaholics is a major podcast. They have meetings on Tuesdays. Me and Wayne are going out there next. What is it? July? The end of this month.
So is Wayne kind of in recovery as well?
Yeah, Wayne's in recovery. He's a firefighter.
Okay.
He's just as fucked up as us. He's my partner for Ringside. Me and him are going to New York to speak at like this big fucking outdoor meeting with Recovery Out Loud, Hopeaholics, everything like that.
When is that?
July 27th.
So fuck, dude, we have our CrossFit competition that day in Hatboro, man.
Oh, nice.
I know. Dude, I want to get involved.
Yeah.
I'm serious. Like,
yeah, I've made so many connections. So when I went to Consequence of Habits, the breath work and the cold plunge, I was 30 days sober.
No shit.
So it's pretty cool. Not even, I think 27. So it's pretty cool to go back a year later and be like, hey, like.
Yeah, I made it.
I made it.
Yeah. I always tell my wife I want to run up the mountain in Reading when I get my year. That's where the treatment center was. Like,
yeah.
It's just, hey, I made it.
Yeah. If you're not doing anything next Sunday, dude, come out. It's like 3 hours. You can bring you and your wife can come. You don't have to be in recovery to come. Like,
is that the ruck walk?
No, that's the fucking cold plunge and the breath work, dude.
At your gym?
No, it's in where the fuck is it? Flowertown.
Flowertown?
Yeah, it's in like a yoga studio. They had it last year.
All right, I'm coming.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. I'll send the information to you. Because those dudes are cool as shit. They teamed up with like Fuel Hunt and everything like that.
Yeah, Fuel Hunt's the shit.
Yeah,
my wife
dude,
loves that stuff.
Yeah, they teamed up with them, and the dude JT, who runs fucking console, he's the man, dude. He goes out and he helps me with like my like he just goes out of his way. He's a cool ass dude. But like those connections are crazy, and that's what I want to do. I want to start doing events around here in Philly because they're fucking there's none. Like, people don't do cool shit like that.
No, they don't. And it's getting worse as time goes on.
Like, they have like recovery run clubs and stuff like that.
I've seen that.
Like, Keller runs one.
So our gym does the Phoenix. I don't know if you ever heard of it. It's like the Phoenix is like I might be butchering it a little bit, but it's a CrossFit program for recovery.
Oh, nice.
So this girl, Casey, from our gym, she's sober. She coaches the Phoenix class. I think it's Tuesday nights at 7. So it's all people in recovery that do a CrossFit workout for the night. Yeah. And the only requirement is, I think, 24, 48 hours sober.
Yeah.
Because they don't want anybody to get hurt.
Yeah, of course.
It's a big deal because, like, I think for me personally, and you as well, like, tying the fitness into recovery is the only way I'm able to stay sober.
Yeah, because it helps with mental health too. Like, it's just like for boxing, when I box or even when I coach, regardless if I'm having the best day ever or the worst day ever, during that period of time, whether I'm holding mitts or I'm coaching somebody, nothing comes into my mind. It's
you're at it. Yep.
I'm out of my element. Nothing bothers me. I'm living in the present.
Yeah.
And I learned to correlate that into my life now where I live in the present, regardless of, like we talked about, like our minds go 100 miles an hour and we kind of, like you said, you didn't ruin it, but you say.
I just took away from the positive atmosphere.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, you're just a selfish piece of shit.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I know, dude. I hear that a lot.
But it's like learning to live in the present for those moments. Because like the way I think is, like today, like we have my girlfriend's, her daughter Nova, her 3rd birthday.
Yeah.
And like it's a lot of hard work and getting together and all that shit. You know, like you have a kid, and I'm gonna live in the present today, regardless. I have to wake up at 3:30 a.m. tomorrow for my gym for morning classes. Then I go work fucking construction.
Yeah,
and then I'm gonna fucking train at night. So it's like that doesn't matter. That's on my mind. But during that moment, I'm gonna live in the present.
Yeah,
and I've never been able to do that because I'm always stressing about the next fucking thing.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just
when you're an addict, bro, it's either you're trying not to get high, you're trying not to get caught being high, or you're trying to stop.
Right.
And it's every fucking day. So now that you don't have to deal with that nonsense, like your fucking head opens up, and now you have all this space to do all these cool things, and like that's the beauty of it all, man. Like because you're literally consumed by drugs and alcohol, you can't do a fucking thing. And now that it's gone, you're replacing all this positivity. And that's just the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it.
Right. Yeah, definitely. And I think now to the last year, it got easier and easier over time because when you first get sober and all those doors open, you're overwhelmed because you're like, dude, like I know I was fucked up, but now I got to talk about X, Y, and Z to get over this and this and this. And it's all a process and you go through the steps and everything like that. But it's like, now it's easier to live. But like, that's what I want to do, dude. Like I'm going to hold you accountable. I'm going to get you involved.
I'll come on Wednesday.
With fucking connections 100%. And stuff.
Just because like I've been a taker my whole fucking life, dude. I've been a taker my whole life. And, you know, the whole goal of my career change is to be able to give back in a professional way. Like, I just want to fucking be able to help people.
Yeah.
And that's the goal. That's why we started the podcast, that and to help me stay sober. But, you know, I love AA. I love chairing meetings, but I want to do something like what you're doing, or at least be a part of it. So like, I'm gonna come Wednesday, and then you know, I'll follow your lead, and you know, you're the coach, and like, I'll do whatever you say.
Yeah,
like,
it's never gonna replace AA, or it's been around for years.
100%.
It's just,
I'll never not need it. I know that.
Right. It's just to switch up the program, and it's something that people need. And like I said, I base mine more towards not only sobriety, but like mental health. I have guys in there that have zero addictions.
Right.
They're just fucked up in the head and they just need to get it out one way or another. You know what I mean? And it's kind of cool because I had a guy in there.
It's good. You were going to tell a story?
Yeah, I'm curious about that. So you have an end for ones that you use, and then you have a fresh one.
Oh, yeah. Like if I'm out, I'll spit it out, but that's the fucking dirty side. This is the fresh side.
So fucking innovative. Dude. Look at that. It's come a long way.
Yeah, that's my only thing I got, dude.
It's come a long way.
It was either divorce or let me just keep doing it.
Yeah, good choice. That's funny. But yeah, going back to what we were talking about, I have a member, Chris. He's one of my coaches. He runs my kids program, and he comes to Ringside. Not an addict at all. He just deals with mental health, depression, ADHD. I mean, that motherfucker is wired.
Yeah.
24/7. His mind's 100 miles a minute. One of the most loyal dudes I ever met. Comes in, a couple meetings, and then he goes, listen, guys, when I'm in the gym, when I train, I have to smoke weed. The reason for it is because my mind's 100 miles a minute. And it slows me down to become like sort of normal. Like, and he's always hyper, but he's like, if I didn't have weed, I'd be super hyper. But he's kind of at the point now. He's got trauma. His best friend, you know, committed suicide and everything like that. And he actually, you know, found him and everything like that, which is fucked up. Yeah,
it is fucked up.
So, but anyway, like the group, no one forced him, no one judged him. He ended up stop smoking weed.
Did he really?
He's like, I see all you guys, and you know, I'm gonna figure it out another way. Without smoking weed.
That's fucking amazing. That's great.
So it's pretty cool. Yeah. Like no one said.
Well, he saw the path. He saw the path from everybody else.
Exactly.
You know?
Like, he was like, "There's other ways. I can figure it out."
What the fuck? We're snorting 30s every fucking day. You know what I mean? So, you know?
Yeah, I'm not gonna fucking judge you for fucking smoking weed, dude.
There was a dude in rehab for fucking smoking weed, and I'm like, pussy.
Yeah. Fucking cutting up Adderall and shit.
Dude, I know it's bad, right? But I'm like, fucking weed, dude. I wish if weed was my only problem, I'd be a millionaire.
Yeah, exactly. But it was pretty cool, and I was like, that's awesome, man. Like, yeah. So it helped in that way, but yeah, dude, get connected, man. Especially like in this.
And that's my problem. Like,
you got connected in AA, right?
Yeah.
You meet all these people.
Yeah.
You have these connections. It's the same way through this podcast. Like, you can do so much with this shit.
Yeah.
It's like you don't even know. And like we can put together events in fucking Philly and stuff, man. It'll be really cool. Like, even your CrossFit gym.
Yeah. They're super receptive to things like that.
Yeah, we'll do boxing up there and shit like that. Like, we can put events together. I have no problem traveling, dude. I fucking drive from Doylestown to Philly every goddamn day. So.
Yeah. I mean, even like so my backstory is I left the union after 8 years. I went to undergrad, and the whole time I was a trainer and strength and conditioning coach. I worked at high school in Chestnut Hill, Springside Chestnut Hill Academy. So like training people was always a huge part of my life.
Right.
You know, then I became a CrossFit coach when I went back to the union. I was working at No Limit Gym. So like
Sean.
Yeah, you know Sean?
Yeah, I went to No Limit years and years ago. I used to go for my fight games.
Did you really? Mm-hmm. How long ago?
Fuck, dude. over a decade.
Yeah, well, we started at, my wife and I started at No Limit. She probably like 13 years ago. That's when I met her.
Yeah.
Tony Boom Boom.
Yeah.
You know him?
Yeah, he was a boxer.
Yeah. He used to go there and like, I don't think it worked out too well, but he used to go there.
Yeah.
So
that's when he first, I went there when it first opened.
When he was above when he was at the top?
Correct, because my old boxing gym was there.
Oh, on the strip?
Yeah, Scalen. No, and where he had his gym at was my old boxing gym.
Okay.
Jack Scalen's gym was there, and then he sold it, and then that's when Sean took over for No Limit.
I think he was originally above a hardware store.
Yeah, on Willits.
I didn't go to that one, but then we went down to the main level. That's where I started.
Yeah. I was at the one where he was above.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when he first fucking opened.
That fucking CrossFit changed my fucking life, dude.
Yeah.
Because even before I was like an addict, I got involved with CrossFit, and that caused me to switch my whole program at school to sports psychology, because the mental toughness that you need to finish those types of workouts, it's brutal.
Yeah.
I remember walking in, like you kind of touched on it with the walking into a fighting gym. I walked into that gym on a Saturday and there was dudes in there that I thought were like, you just bouncing weight around, doing all this crazy shit. And like, it's very intimidating. It's like when you never had an experience with CrossFit, it's just like walking into a fighting gym. It's like, fuck, these are crazy. And I was fucking dedicated to be one of those in my head, one of those bad motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And like the mental toughness aspect of it caused me to pursue sports psychology, and then drugs got in the way and I dropped out. But just the same thing with fighting, like the mental toughness with that, it changes who you are as a person to be able to persevere and get through those types of workouts, in my opinion.
Yeah, because that's why I love fighting the most, because it's not like
it's just like you against you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like even when you're getting hit and stuff like that, even when we spar and we're not trying to like kill each other, but getting through those, getting popped, and like the fight starts when you're tired, and you have to be at your best when you're tired, and that's just every day, everyday life. When you're tired, when you're beaten down, when you're depressed at your most, that's when the fucking demons come out and try to get into your head, and that's when you have to fight the hardest.
Yeah.
So you're kind of preparing yourself mentally for that, and that's like you said, that's what I love Ringside. Like I'm training motherfuckers to fight against their demons, to dominate when they're at their fucking low.
Yeah, to fucking dominate.
Because unfortunately, what's going to happen is, right now I'm in a good place, but those demons are always going to be there, and there could be a time where I'm at a low place.
Yeah,
that's just the way life is, and I got to figure out a way and be prepared to fucking go head to head with them.
Yeah, and to get through it.
Correct.
Yeah, my therapist calls it. I'm a notorious relapser after vacation. My whole life,
really, with
my wife. If I went to vacation sober, I'm either relapsing there or the day I get off the plane. And this first vacation, we went, it was a few months ago. I came back, I didn't get high, I went to a meeting, and I was like, that's fucking first time I've ever done that. My therapist calls it money in the bank.
Right.
So now the next time you go on a vacation, or the next issue that you were able to get through, that you stayed sober through, it's money in the bank. So you know how to do it.
Yeah, it's nothing.
Now, like, I didn't even think about it. We got back, last Saturday. I didn't even think about it.
I was just going to ask you that.
I didn't even think about not wanting to get high. It didn't even cross my mind.
You just went back into like your normal
routine.
Schedule.
I went to work, went to a meeting, and I'm like, oh shit, I didn't even think about it. And dude, for years, mid-vacation, I'm like, fuck, dude, how am I going to get back to work without getting high? Like the job fell apart since I left. Like all this, that's not. I'm making it up, but it would cause me to get high.
Right.
So this time it was like it didn't even cross my mind. And that just shows you recovery and sobriety works, dude.
Yeah, it changes your thought process.
Yeah.
And then because all we did was, and it's a shame, like the way you put it like this, but like when you don't deal with certain things, depression, anxiety, or trauma, you don't admit that you have an addiction. All we do is make excuses, and it's just a bunch of bullshit fucking excuses that we feel fucking bad for ourselves and shit like that. And we're not the only ones that ever go through it. There's been so many more people, in front of us that did it in the past, and we just become this person that just makes excuses.
Yeah, the world's fucking falling apart, dude. Like I got that wall's out of plumb by 3 inches. What am I gonna do? I gotta get high. Like just the dumbest shit.
Me. And that's all we
selfish
think about.
Motherfucker.
Correct. Where now you finally see the other side of it. Now you're thinking of, instead of making excuses, you're thinking of a solution. So it got to the point where you already knew you know, you knew in the back of your head, like, you know, what you do after vacation or during vacation, like, but your solution was going to a meeting without even thinking. You already had that solution in your head without even knowing until today. And that's how, like, we learn. Like, we look back at things and we learn and we see. And, like, during, like, when we're fucked up, you don't see all the things. The red flags are in front of you left and right. But then afterwards, after you've gone through it and you figured out all these solutions, you look back and you're like, it's not that hard.
Well, dude, it's funny. You just said that you kind of have tunnel vision. And I remember, you know, 2-3 weeks into treatment, we got the letter from my wife. It's like part of their program. They get the letter, the wife to write a letter or your significant other. And I'm reading this letter in front of my counselor, and like the whole time I'm worried about Anthony and like me feeling better.
Right.
And, you know, for years I didn't even consider like all the pain I was putting her through.
Right.
You know, like my therapist also calls it mental abuse. You know, tricking her to think I was sober when I wasn't, or like, you know, being high the whole vacation and hiding it. And just convincing her that I'm fine. Like that's another form of like mental abuse. I'm like, I never thought of it like that, dude. And he's like, yeah, dude, that's fucking abuse right there. And I'm like, I didn't even once consider that until I got sober.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, and I don't know how it was with your ex, but like the pain I put my wife through, man, it was bad.
Yeah.
It was bad. Just a mental, verbal, emotional scumbag.
Yeah. That's basically like at the end of my marriage, that's kind of how it was. And it was like, I think we were just at a point where we were both prepared to go our separate ways. And
no kids, right?
No kids.
Right.
I think we were both drinking to like pretend. It was a facade that everything was okay. But then once we got drunk, that's when everything came out, like the hateful words and everything like that.
Yeah, it gets ugly.
Yeah, it got
I don't know about you guys, I would force her to be ugly back.
Yeah.
I wouldn't stop.
I would start.
Yeah, I wouldn't stop until she would get ugly back.
Exactly. And it got to the point where it's just super toxic. If I never made that change, never met Lauren, never put that gun in my mouth, I would have never changed.
Yeah.
So it all happens for a reason.
Well, it sounds like, and I do the same thing. Like you take the worst possible experience, and find one positive from that.
Well, it's just
you have to.
We learn the hard way.
Yeah, unfortunately, dude.
Right.
I always say I'm like a death of a thousand cuts type of guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
I got to learn. Like, don't put your finger in the outlet. Well, guess what?
What?
What do you mean? But that's the way I learn. And now it's to a point where I have to. Like for me, I used to just lie.
Oh, yep. To myself, to everybody else.
About it, fucking the dumbest shit in the world that I didn't even need to lie about. But I created such a habit. Now that I'm sober, that's something that like it took me a while to get used to. And now I fucking tell the truth about everything. No matter how stupid it may be. Like that's what I mean. I'm so outspoken, so transparent about everything because I know like if I lie, like it's basically like I'm relapsing. Yeah. Because it's part of it.
I agree.
You know what I mean? It's little things like the shit that like you did when you were fucking when you weren't sober, like it all plays a role. And that's what I mean by full transformation. Like you can't fucking do one of the things and don't think the other five's not gonna fucking come
affected,
back.
Yeah.
Right. You're fucking feeding the beast. Yeah. And eventually it's gonna want more and more and more and more. So you completely have to fucking change as a whole. You have to transform. And that's what people don't understand. Like not drinking alcohol and not fucking drugging, but there's a whole nother circle of things that go with it.
Yeah, well, they always say that, like, drinking and drugging was just a symptom.
That's
like,
all.
The space between my ears is what was the problem.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. And you're fucking, you're out of your mind if you don't think you got to change everything as a whole. Like, I like the person who I am today.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
I love the person I am today. It's just, why the fuck did I make it so difficult?
Well, you know, it's like, it took what it took. Yeah. That's how I look at it. Like, I can't sit here at 41 years old with 8 months and 10 days and think like, well, what if I got sober the first time? You know, like I just torture myself, dude.
Yeah,
like, it took what it took. Luckily, you know, my wife, among other things, my daughter, my family, they stuck by me. They all have given me a chance. My mother-in-law give me a chance to show them with my actions. No more talking. I can't
say
talk.
Sorry, you can't talk. I mean?
Yeah. No more talking.
Said it so many times.
Yeah. So what's it like with your girl now? you have your year, and going from that previous relationship. I mean, you guys are probably fucking awesome. It's probably a great experience for you this time around, dude. Like a whole different thing.
Yeah, we've grown so much. The trust is back.
Yeah.
I still have to work on things with certain things, of course, because I have to, because I always want to better myself. So I always try working on things, but things are just fucking smooth, dude. Yeah. It's nice. And it's just like, it's really like a really good place, which causes me to, be a better coach, be a better business owner, be better for Ringside as a whole. It just, my whole like little universe is just fucking
yeah, your foundation's all sound. Yeah. Everything's working together.
So now it's more about me, honestly, working on myself, where it's the fact of when I opened the business and I really, really focused on sobriety, I pushed aside like myself, like my nutrition and everything like that. So I'm getting back in the gym myself, like training again, like fighting again, not competing, but like getting back in a fight gym, like what I love to do.
Right.
Getting my fucking nutrition and all under control. And like now I'm just doing that. I was so worried about everyone else, and now I can focus like on me again.
Yeah. That's a good place to be.
Yeah.
And plus, you have the skills and the knowledge on on what to do to get to that place.
Yeah. So it's just getting back into that paramilitary fucking routine.
Yeah.
Just adding it to the mix. That's all.
Yeah. So like I've, it's been like 12, 13 years I've been doing CrossFit, but I've been really in bad shape for me for the last 5. So once I got out of treatment this time, like I made a decision, like I'm just going to dive back into 100%. I made a goal for, this particular year to do a competition with my wife. She's always been involved with CrossFit. So like, you're right. My whole line of thinking changed. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? There's so much more than just stopping drinking and drugging. You know what I mean? So like now, like we're working on this competition. We're connected. We're going to the gym every day, and like it's just it's all because of sobriety, dude. Like recovery. Like I lost so many fucking things, man.
Yeah.
I dropped out of school for a year, like something I was so passionate about, and like that came back into play, and like part of me, I think, bro, and maybe you can relate, is like when things go smoothly for extended periods of time, I actively try to fuck them up.
Yeah, and I'm a self-sabotager.
Yeah, it's not like that today, but like I recognize it.
Yeah.
Like little dumb things. My wife, we're on vacation, she had to come back to Philly to work for a day. That's prime time because I got 24 hours to do whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
And like I didn't do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was no obsession. It's just like, I think now I know in real time the consequences.
Right.
Before, like they might play a factor in your head momentarily, but you're like, fuck it. Now it's like the consequences will be so bad for me, whether it's one, whatever, you know what I mean? To start over again, it will be bad, dude.
Yeah. You work so hard to rebuild this new person.
Yeah.
And rebuild this whole new life. I wouldn't say rebuild. It's just something that you've always had.
Putting it back together.
Right.
Yeah.
That you just had a black cloud over, and now you're letting it, fully come to life. And you have this great relationship with your wife. And that's funny. I always have this argument I always have this discussion with my girl about, because I fought and I competed for so many years. I'm goal driven. Right. So I'm like, well, in order for me to get back in shape, I need to like sign for a fight. she's like, no, you don't. You just do it for yourself. I was like, yeah. But like, if I know like I could get knocked out on this date and time, like I'll train.
Yeah.
She's like, well, you're 35. You're completely out of shape.
I can relate to that.
You know what I mean?
1000%.
So that's what I'm trying to do. So you sign up for a competition
to force myself.
Correct.
Yeah.
Where me, I'm like, okay, let me just get back in the gym. And like, yeah, I used to be a fighter, but I'm not. I'm so out of shape. I'm fighting these young dudes that are half my age, like in the gym sparring
the fuck up.
Yeah, that are sparring, and like I'm way of a hell better coach than I was a fighter. But like that's my competition now, like to keep up with these dudes at the gym. And I went back to jujitsu. Fucking hate jujitsu because I'm a striker. I boxed my whole life, but I've done jujitsu for years, and it's just like. Now I'm just like pushing myself to a point. But yeah, I'm super goal driven. If I have like, this is the end date. This is the end result. Yep. I need it by then. So when's your competition?
July 27th, last Saturday in July.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
oh shit. Yeah, that's what you said. So I'll be in New York. Yeah.
So it's funny, like
where's it at?
It's in Hatboro. I think it's Hatboro, CrossFit Generation. So funny story, me, Sean Thompson, another dude, and 3 girls did this competition maybe like 8, 9 years ago, and we won. We fucking came in first, right? Next year we do it again. We came in last in the final. Made it to the final, came in last.
Okay.
So I used to be in shape and be in a mindset where I could do these competitions and have a chance to win.
Right.
Now we're doing this competition. We have absolutely 0% chance of winning. Some of the people that are going to be there are like legit semifinal CrossFit Games people.
Right.
However, I was able to get past that mental block. Like, it's hard to do something that you know you have no chance to win. For me.
You got to go in 100% knowing you're going to win.
Yeah. So this is just reality. So my goal now is for our team to be the best team from our gym. The coaches have a team, and they're pretty fucking good. They're pretty fucking good, if I'm being honest. But I think we can beat them.
Yeah.
And that's my whole goal. And I talk shit to them. They talk shit to me. I get beat by them regularly. Like out of 10 workouts, I might win 2 or 3. But
you got to show up on the day, dude.
Dude, these particular sets of workouts that came out, because they already came out, all the workouts.
Go towards your team.
They favor my team, in my opinion. Don't get me wrong. Like, you got to be dialed the fuck in that day. But that's to your point with the goal. Like, this is my goal. You know what I mean? I know by the time I get to July 27th, 1, I'll be sober. 1, I've trained my ass off. My nutrition, I'll give it a B-. You know?
So is that something that you have to... Because that's the hardest thing. Like,
the nutrition.
Correct.
I'm dead solid Monday until Saturday afternoon. And then we go out to eat.
Yeah.
And my wife's like, dude, we didn't even eat that bad. But like, I feel like I was so good during the week. I fucked it up. But
yeah. That's what I'm trying to get back.
It's tough.
Because I want to go full force into it. And my girl's like, no, like you'll drive yourself crazy because you've been all over the place and now you're going full. Like, I want to go back to like what I used to do, cutting weight. And I was like, that's all I know. And she's like, no, like you're going to fucking drive yourself crazy.
But I mean, like, it's fucking fun.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun, dude. Like we started off January, we ran 100 miles. That was a goal. January 1 and January 31, we ran 100 miles. On the fucking, the self-propelled treadmill.
Yeah.
That fucking blew.
Yeah.
And then mid-February to mid-March, we did 100,000 meters on the ski erg.
Mm-hmm.
And then April, I told myself I'm going to work out every day for the rest of my life. Idiot, right? I really thought I could pull this off.
Yeah.
And then that lasted 2 months. And I was like super proud of myself. Like 50 plus days in a row, I did something to break a sweat. But it's just not sustainable. I'm 41.
No, God, no.
No. So now it's the competition.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then after the competition, it'll be whatever else I come up with.
Dude, I sparred, not for the first time, but I sparred at another gym, these young kids, and I kept up with them and everything.
Yeah.
And
well, it's pride. You're a man.
I fucking went home, bro. My fucking toes, like, because it got caught on the cage, the skin on my toes like ripped off. I got fucking bruises everywhere. I'm waking up the next morning. I'm like, because when I was 21, I used to fight when you're younger in boxing, you'd fight like every fucking weekend. And dude, I was just hurt. Like, oh God, like I need a week off after this.
I'm so impressed by dudes that like make fighting part of their life. You know what I mean? Like their lifestyle. You know, it's like I just didn't do it when I was a kid. I wish I would have. It was like I played all 4 sports. But like even wrestling, like I wish I would have got involved in wrestling.
Yeah.
You know, something like that kind of like jiu-jitsu. I started, I guess it was like 6 years ago. I did it for 2 years. I tore my bicep, came back, and I was nervous to get hurt again, and that's no way to train because I'm walking around on a job site as one of the managers with a fucking RoboCop arm.
Right.
I'm like, I can't fucking do this.
Yeah.
And then part of me is thinking like, are you being a bitch? And I'm like, I think that's part of it, but I also don't want to get hurt.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a lot. It's a lot. So I have mad respect for dudes that fight like regularly. Even you at this age, like still grinding, sparring. Like
it's just fun. Like even the guys I train, I still spar. Like I try to keep up with them.
And you want to win? You want to do better?
Yeah. I just want to honestly just make them better. That's all.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just showing them how to, everything I learned, but I don't want them to I'm not teaching them to fight like me. I'm teaching them to find their own.
To be better fighters for themselves.
To be better than fucking me. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And but it's just fun for me. And when you come Wednesday, like you'll understand. And like if you get like more into it, like it's just you seem like you're a competitive person. And that's what it does. And it shuts off your mind and it just fucking makes you grind. And it's funny because you doing CrossFit, you should be in shape. But when it comes to that, it's a whole nother world.
Dude, I was
just like anything else, you know what I mean?
Dude, I was legit going to CrossFit 5-6 days a week for years. Started jiu-jitsu. The first class
Yeah.
I couldn't believe how I felt after a 5-minute round. I was fucking dying.
Right. And it's just about like breath work.
Yeah, like
you're holding your breath.
Yeah,
and
I'm
you're
going
stressed.
against a blue belt. This
Yeah.
dude named Zach. He's like your size.
Yeah.
You know, he could just really do whatever he wants to me.
Yeah.
And that's just the way life is when you're a first dayer against a blue belt.
Right.
And he's like, man, you're really strong. I'm thinking, like, dude, you just tapped me out like 25 times in 5 minutes. Dude.
Exactly.
But he's being nice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you're right. It's like a different modality all in itself. And like breathing
Right.
is huge. And
Yeah, it's just a different sport. That's all it is. And you just gotta. You just
I'm going to your gym. You're like, dude, you work out, bro? I'm like, I swear I work out. Because it's different.
I'll just look up the workout of the day and just give it to you. Like, just go over there.
Well, that's another thing. Like, you know, fighting's like a cult, right? I mean, like the dudes that fight, like I used to go to Grindhouse MMA on Street Road.
Yep.
And those dudes are like a tight knit community,
especially the fight team.
They're like all good dudes, legit group of guys. Like I know I can't say all gyms, but that gym they didn't want to hurt you.
No,
you know what I mean? They knew you had to go to work the next day.
Yeah,
you know, but
there's gyms that don't understand that.
Yeah,
that don't understand that some people just aren't full-time fighters.
Yeah. Do you know you know Brady?
I know who he is. I've trained with him a couple times. I know who he is. So
that's why he used to do some of his fight camps at No Limit. And that's why we started, me and my buddy Brian Weber, that's why we started at Grindhouse. He stuck with it. I think he's like a purple belt now, dude. But it's impressive, man, to be able to grind your day out, go to jiu-jitsu, work your way up the ranks, train. It's fucking impressive. I definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, because with jiu-jitsu especially, it's slow and steady. Like you have to earn your stripes, earn your belt. Like it just doesn't come overnight.
Yeah, you can't just try really hard.
Right.
There's way more to it than that.
Yeah, it's so much more to it. So that's one of the really, really cool things about it. But it's just like anything else, like that's why like a lot of people get involved in martial arts is because you have to earn it and it's a slow process.
Yeah.
And us as addicts, we don't like anything that's a slow process. Right. It has to be fucking now. Yeah. Why can't I just be sober now and I'm good? Like it doesn't work that way, dude.
I know. You can't pull up a fucking triangle on day 3. What the fuck's your problem?
Yeah, dude. I got such little legs, dude. I could never do. I do arm triangles. I can't do. You'll never see me fucking triangle anyone.
The best part about jiu-jitsu was I got my nephew involved. He's going to be 13. He's been doing it for 5 years.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And like, he's the sweetest boy on the planet.
Those jiu-jitsu dudes are another level. They're like the nicest fucking people. I don't know where they get them. Yeah. Those dudes are so nice.
Yeah, they'll fucking murder you.
They'll murder you, but like they're so helpful. They'll show you. Like they're super nice dudes. And jiu-jitsu itself is kind of like a cult. I feel like anything's a cult because I thought CrossFit was like a cult too.
So CrossFit is fucking weird. Right? It's weird. And the best thing about No Limits Gym was that it was all dudes like you and I. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it can be real culty. Yeah. It can be real culty.
That's anything though. Yeah. You just gotta, you stay away from it if you want to. If not, you fucking just join it. Dude. Yeah. Just drink the Kool-Aid.
So at No Limit, I would talk shit regularly. There's nothing malicious behind it. You're just fucking around talking shit. You might win, you might lose. You're just talking shit. So I remember I started going to CrossFit Raid. It's on the State Road, right by Street Road, and I take the same mentality there.
And they look at you like,
well, yes, I've been able to kind of like put it in a box a little bit, and not be. But there's certain people that now like we're friendly, we can talk shit to each other. But I'm doing a regular class on a regular weekday, and this dude didn't do the weight I did, and he said his time, and I'm like, pussy, you didn't even do the weight. And I'm like, oh no, why did I say that, dude? Like, because that's what I would have said in No Limit. I didn't mean anything by it, but like, it doesn't come across well in certain environments. Yeah, it's just know your audience.
Yeah, it's just like messing with your friends, and you've known your friends for like 10 years, and you could say certain things like, oh, fuck you, and they don't get offended. And then you meet a dude at like Rite Aid, and you're like, hey, fuck you, and like aisle 5, and he's like,
well, like if you're with all your buddies, and an outsider came in, they'd probably be like, are these dudes even friends?
Right, exactly.
They're so mean to each other. Yeah. Dude. And that was what I was used to.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's all good stuff, man. It's all good stuff. So I think this was amazing. I'm glad you did this, dude. And if anything, it's gonna force me. I'm coming Wednesday. That's a fact. Oh my dad, I'm coming. I just want to experience it. And I need to get more connected with people because I'm like the fakest, like introvert, extrovert. Like at work, I'm social. I have to be social. I have to talk to all these people.
Yeah.
But like in my personal life, I'm not the same way. And I'm trying to get better with that. And I don't know if it's like because of sobriety where I'm at with the 8 months or or what, but like you've been gracious enough to come to my house on a fucking Sunday. So like I would definitely like to be a part of Wednesday and your group and just see where it goes from there. If that's, I mean, I know you're all right with it.
No, absolutely.
It'd be an honor for me. To be honest
that'd
with
be
you.
awesome. No, right when you, I think with me, I love supporting locally. And the fact is, like, I love dudes that have the same mindset as me, or people in general that have the same mindset as
Even
me.
our first conversation, we hit it off.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was just like, let me just fucking call this dude.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit, dude.
Yeah, I was like, I'm in the car. I'm on my way home from the gym. I was like, let me just fucking call this dude. And like, I like to support people like that because I'm just a little guy in this game, and so are you. And like, if we come together, we can figure out something cool. And that's why, like, I know if me and you put something together, even like an event or something, like it just holds accountability. And I've always wanted to do this. And you see these people that put together these events, or you see these people that put together these organizations, and you sit back and like, man, how did it happen? And all it was a fucking idea. Yeah. You just have to like, honestly, like believe in yourself and your goals. And I know I can push as hard as I can to fucking do something different. So I would love to like for us to get together, and like other guys, like I've reached out to like to get together and put together like some fucking really cool like recovery event for like addiction and mental health. I think it'll be awesome. And like you said, it gets you out of like your whole like introvert world.
It's like the fitness goals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if we put a goal, like it sounds like you're really fucking creative, and I don't know that I have that, but like if you came up with a plan or an idea that allowed me to do A, B, and C to get to the place where we need to be, like that would be great.
It's basically, dude, this is how simple it is. Like I put together like, it's kind of putting together a business plan, but I put together like an event plan, right? And I'm like, hey, I want to have you involved. What do you have to offer? Well, you're a strength and conditioning coach or CrossFit coach. Okay, cool. So let's handle that. You handle that fucking portion. You put together something, like you put together a workout, like that's you're adding your recipe, your ingredients to the big recipe. Right. And that's what gets you involved. And at the end of the day, like you have like Ringside and DBR and like other guys, like you'll see your name like on a fucking poster.
It doesn't even seem real to me.
Correct.
It doesn't even seem real.
Yeah.
No, but like
But that's what I mean.
Crazy.
We tend to make these things so big in our head, like, oh, it's not possible that we can do it.
You just got to start.
But in reality, all you have to do is fucking start.
Yeah.
And then the cool thing is like, even if say we do an event and fucking only 20 people come, 15, 10, I don't give a fuck. One person comes up and you'd be like, yo, that was awesome. That was something so different. Yeah. Like, then like all that hard work and everything was worth it. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, I know if I give you tasks, you're gonna do them. Yeah. Especially if you really, really want it. You know what I mean?
You know what's funny? So I actually started creating, because in my head, I'm thinking like when I get a year sober, I was going to reach out to this guy who used to coach me. He's a big time for the Archdiocese. And I would love to give a presentation at Father Judge, where I went to high school. So I started creating these leadership development presentations. I'll send them to you. I mean, I have 2 of them that I created. I'm working on a 3rd one. And they're not too wordy. You know what I mean? The presentation shouldn't have too many words into them. It should be more like what I say about the bullets on the presentation.
Correct.
I'll send them to you, dude. Like I would love.
I get my girl look over. She does advertising for a pharmaceutical company. She does like all my social media. She's really helped me because when I was a cop, I didn't have any social media, so I didn't start getting involved until I got out of law enforcement, started the business and all. But I have her read over all my shit just because she's 30 times smarter than me. And I'm just like, she's used to giving presentations at work, like at big meetings and stuff like that. So like, I find her to be super credible for the fact that like, hey, change this, or this is too much going on. People won't pay attention to that. Right. And that's what I learned. Yeah.
And that's like, kind of what I did. Because I'm a fucking idiot. So I put
you went to judge.
Yeah.
So did I.
That was track 2 though.
Oh shit, dude! My bad.
So I put this shit together and I sent it to one of the girls in my MBA program. Yeah, and then she reformatted everything. And
that's what you have to do.
So like, and I'm not saying if I send them to you and your wife or your girl wants to look at them, like,
well, yeah, because I'll read them and I like as long as they're like simplified and stupid, I'll be like, oh, I get this. But then I'll be like, hey, what would you do? And I have no problem doing that. But yeah, like that's awesome, dude.
Because everything you do with Ringside is fucking leadership development. Yeah. You're getting individuals to be better at whatever it is they do in their lives through Ringside, in my opinion, right? That if you want to do like a broad spectrum.
And that's what it is. It's not just the meeting. It's for outside the meeting.
Yeah. Yeah. It's to take with you.
It's for life. Yeah. It's life goals. And that's when we have the issue. It's kind of like, for example, nutrition.
Mm-hmm.
You love the workout, but then you come in and you see a fucking cheesecake.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where, yeah, maybe I love going to meetings, but then what happens when I don't have that meeting? You have to take those tools with you and stay, you know, disciplined. So that's what leadership development is. It's fucking causing people to look at things differently.
Yeah. In my mind, it's like you're getting an individual to be better, more efficient at whatever it is that they do. And what does that look like? And that's kind of where the genesis of the presentations came from my lens, right? Because I'm not taking a concept that is new. I'm taking one that's already established and how I view it, my lens. You know what I mean? And like how you do with Ringside, like you're taking a concept. Recovery is not new, but this is your version of recovery, and that's how I created these couple presentations.
So why is this important to you?
Well, it's like I said, I've been a taker my whole fucking life, and what recovery and sobriety has done for me has helped me to see like that I'm able to help people. That's why I started the podcast. I struggle with the self-doubt. I struggle with only having 8 months. Like, who the fuck is going to listen to me? Who's going to validate my story or think that I can help them with only this little bit of time, all these relapses? It's all bullshit, I know. But the leadership presentations, in my mind, I wanted to try to get into an audience at Judge and help these kids to see that drugs and alcohol at a young age plays a huge part in your life in your 20s and your 30s and your 40s. And how do you combat that? How do you communicate that? What's the importance of setting goals? How do you set a goal? Like, a lot of people don't even know how to set a goal. Like, are they fucking measurable? Is there a time constraint? Are they attainable? So that's part of my presentation. Language, right? The way you communicate with a person, how you communicate with them, the words that you use. These are important things. If you can understand how to communicate better with a person, you can hopefully help them achieve their goal. So like, that's why I created these presentations. Like, they were just side hustles for me. Like, you know, like I hate to not be busy. So once I talked to my therapist about my Sundays and my downtime, I just started working on them on my downtime. So I don't know, like right now they're just in my computer. You know, they're.
So what's your next step?
Well, to get a year sober and talk to the dude from Judge. That was what was in my head.
Who's the dude from Judge?
Jay Bud.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the man. So he dude, you would love this. He has these networking events at Judge. I just went to one a couple weeks ago. We used to do CrossFit together. He was my freshman football coach. We've been connected. I fucking did his basement. And in my head, for some reason, I put it together like, get a year sober, because that, at least in my mind, validates that I'm serious about my recovery. Send him the presentation and see if there's a way I can get in front of students at Judge to be able to do it. And that's where I'm at with it. That's where I'm at with it.
So you're at 8 months now?
8 months, 10 days.
All right.
And I don't even know I don't know why I put the year constraint in my brain.
It's just because it's the big goal.
It's
that one big goal.
Yeah, I think it really cements the fact that I'm serious about my recovery.
Right.
And that's kind of why I put the year constraint on it, if you want to call it that.
So I'm going to give my opinion on it. You have the connection. Make sure everything's good with, send me that, and then make sure everything's perfect with it.
Mm-hmm.
And start reaching out now.
I know.
Plan the fucking, remember goal oriented.
Mm-hmm.
Start reaching out now, because what's going to happen is there's curriculums within Judge, within any school, any education. In order for you to get in and talk to kids, they're going to have to know about it. So they have to set a date.
Right.
And you can set that date after your fucking 1 year if you want. You know what I mean? But there's your goal oriented to help you get through the next 4 months and to really help you like focus in and do this presentation. Because guess what? You're going to have to fucking read in your head and present fucking 100 times in front of your wife. I'll come over here and you can
we talked about this.
You have to.
I know.
And my girl told me about it and I was like, nah, I'm good. And then I was like, nah, you have to.
I'm such a bitch. I already had it in my head. Like, I'll invite my family over because you can fuck up doing the presentation in front of your family to fine tune it. And put it on my TV, and I can't even pull that fucking trigger.
Yeah, and
it's scary.
Yeah, you have to. You can call them fucking Ringside and fucking just do it like one time.
Oh boy!
But you need to get through that.
I know.
If just fucking do the next couple steps. Cause you're going to make a fucking excuse.
I know.
You're going to be like, all right, well, you're sober. And what happens is life gets in the way. Not so much an excuse because you don't want to do it. You're passionate about it, but life gets in the way. So fucking start making your fucking calls now. Schedule that shit. You got 4 months. Schedule it after the year. But it's there, set in stone. Because you don't know. Right now, it's the unknown. Well,
yeah.
Can I do this? No. Guess what? Well, it's fucking scheduled, so you have to do it.
Even like just scheduling a date for my family to come over to present. Like I got to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I got to do it.
But once you have it scheduled, dude, then you know you have to do it. You have no choice.
So what was this like for you the first time you had to do like a public speaking event like that pertained to Ringside? You said your girl was telling you how to practice, but
yeah. So I would write everything down on my notes on my phone,
mm-hmm.
and I would do a rough draft. So at first it would start with bullets.
Mm-hmm.
So big things that I want to hit within my speech, things that really changed my life, things, what I'm passionate about, things that helped me, things that caused me to maybe slow down within my recovery. That took me a little bit longer. And solutions to all those, mine.
Mm-hmm.
Then from there, I would go over each bullet point and slowly write like maybe a couple sentences or a paragraph to explain it. Simplify it, but explain it and get right into the point.
And this is all like your story for the most part.
Yeah,
right?
this is my story. But it depends my audience.
Right.
If I'm talking to a bunch of cops, then I correlate like my traumas within police department, like my shootings I was involved in and stuff like that.
Things that they'll relate to.
Correct.
Yeah.
Missing holidays, drinking with your squad after, if I'm talking to people from Ringside, I do more relatable things like life, stress, bills, fucking relationship with your wife or your girlfriend or your friends who you had to cut off in your circle to grow. These are decisions that are hard decisions that no one wants to make.
Yeah.
Right. So getting an opinion of other people that dealt with that is great. But basically I go through my bullets and I write down and I create my paragraphs. And then I just proofread, see what makes sense, see what doesn't make sense, get a few different eyes on it. I always send out my shit to different people, like my girl, JT from Consequences, just other people, just to get a second set of eyes on it.
Right. Some feedback.
That's all.
Yeah.
And you can't be afraid. And you're not. Like, I know you're not afraid. Like, you're not afraid of feedback. You're not afraid of fucking rejection. Like,
I sent these 2 presentations out to a person that works in organization development.
Yeah.
And a week went by and she didn't respond.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
So I emailed her. I know you're busy, blah, blah, blah. If you had a chance. And she's like, I responded the next day.
Yeah.
It went to my fucking spam.
Yeah.
So yes, it's getting over that hurdle of like.
But when you get into this, like say this is something that you really want to do. And like you get into this, like as your side hustle or like your little business or your organization, whatever it may be, you have to accept rejection because you're going to get rejection.
Sure.
There's going to be some people that just don't see your passion the way you do. No one's going to see your passion the way you want, the way that you do. No one will. No one will grind as hard as you. You'll have people that'll be loyal to you and will follow to you, but it's still your idea, your passion. No one's going to be on that level. But you have to be okay with rejection. And like I fucking message people all day, every day. And I hear like maybe a small percentage reach back out. And I'm okay because that small percentage is cool.
Better than 0.
Correct. And I take it and I'm happy.
Yeah. That's impressive, man. That's scary.
Yeah, but you just got to get over it. My thing is like, dude, I put myself through all this shit. I put my family, my loved ones, my girlfriend, all through all this shit. I fucking, I try to take my own life. Like, what else the fuck do I have to lose? Like, I created this new life. What do I have to lose?
Yeah. I get it and I appreciate it. And in my head, and you can compare it to like being a cop for 15 years, like you said, it's like, I'm a fucking carpenter, right? I'm a fucking dumb carpenter trying to break in leadership development and change my career. And the self-doubt that I feel is so overwhelming. And the closer I get to get my degree, the more it's there. And it's a struggle. It's a struggle. But you're right, though.
You just got to do it.
You're right. The hardest fucking, like...
I'm not the smartest dude in the world by any fucking means.
But you got balls of steel.
That's because I just put myself in... You have to get comfortable in uncomfortable situations. Yeah.
Well, like, the way I talk about sobriety, like, my dad passed away. That was the second most painful part of my life. The hardest part was trying to get sober and not being able to stop. And like, you're right. You the situation with the gun and you're sober and nothing's worse than that. And I know that.
Right.
You know, some jerk off telling me like, yeah, dude, this is not for us. It's not the end of the world.
Right. And in the business world, they don't talk the way we talk.
No.
So they're going to be like, sorry, sir, you know, we just don't see, you know, we're just working on other things during this time.
Yeah.
And like, they let you, they tell you, fuck you, but like
in a nice way.
In a super nice way. You're like,
Yeah.
okay. Well,
that wasn't too bad.
yeah, that wasn't bad. But like, that's what I mean. You just have to try. That's why I'm telling you, just take the fucking next step. Like, just fucking get it proofread, send it to Bud, and get in discussion with him to talk about this event.
Yeah.
Once it's set in stone, you have no fucking choice.
Well,
You're
I think
forcing yourself.
I think that's why you fucking came into my life, dude, because like these are things that you do that I need to do if I'm serious about, you know, entering into the next phase of my life. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
you got to
It's
be okay with talking about people. Because if you're passionate about it, dude, I don't care.
It'll come out.
Yeah. So what happens is, how many times have you told your story?
At meetings?
Just fucking wherever.
A lot.
A lot, right?
A lot.
Is it the same?
No, it's always different.
Always different,
Always
right?
different. Yeah.
Right. So something you're passionate about, you can speak you can speak differently each and every time.
Mm.
The path of people who gather that information each and every time are always going to be different. So all you need is one person to believe in you, and that's it. And one person to take that event. Say you have the event adjudged. From there, you don't know where else you can go from it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can take that fucking anywhere. You can take that to youth study centers where there's fucking young kids that got in trouble with the law or that don't have that family to that support group with them that just have each other, and it's little things that they need to learn.
Yeah.
Like it's shit like that. Like
It's
there's
like
so much
Pandora's
you can do
box, man.
Yeah, you just open it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna take your advice. I'm gonna take your advice.
Because you have no choice. If like,
and you have nothing to lose.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you have nothing to lose.
Like you have absolutely nothing to lose. And all you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. I don't care if there's fucking 10 kids in there.
Yeah.
You give the presentation and that's your first event. You'll always remember that event and then you move on and you make it better. You make
Dialed
connection.
in.
Yeah.
Well, it's like we're fucking drug addicts that are in recovery. That's a fucking miracle. And to be able to get my version of that out through the programs that I started creating is a goal of mine. And I even my therapist says, like, where you at with your presentations? Have you made any connections? Basically everything you just said. And I'm like, no, I got them proofread. They're dialed in. What are you going to do with them? I'm like, I'm working on it.
Yeah, you just fucking sit on them. That's all.
Yeah, what a pussy.
Hey, you're a pussy.
I know.
No, I'm just kidding.
I know.
But I'm different. I literally sat on the couch and I was like, I looked at Laura and I was like, yeah, let's fucking create Ringside. And she fucking put a logo together, put Ringside and started an Instagram. And then I wrote the story. It says, this is my story. And I wrote that one day. I was just feeling kind of down and I just poured out my story. And that was the first thing that I put on Ringside. And then I just said, fuck it. I started making posters and flyers and shit. And then I signed up for groups like me and Wayne sat at a table for like events. And it was so funny. Our first event we went to, it was like a recovery event. So my sister works for Newman University up in Aston. So it was at their event. And I was like, oh, well, it's not by Philly, but who cares? It's connections, right? Let me go. So me and Wayne went up there. And it's me and him. We're in fucking Ringside shirts like a bunch of fucking nerds that we made that we're so proud of. And you got all these fucking salespeople, suits walking in. It was all high up organizations. Karen was there.
Really?
Fucking Ethos was there. Yeah, it was major organizations there. We were the only mom and pop there.
No shit.
And people would walk to our table and be like, what are you guys? And we explained to them, like, that's fucking really cool.
Yeah.
Do you guys take insurance? Nah, we just like $2.
Whatever you feel comfortable with.
Yeah, like we just, it was a hobby and now we just kind of do it. But it was cool to see like now through that, we got a bunch of fucking business cards and I'm in talks with all of them trying to go out to their men's group, speak to their men's group, get them involved, get us involved. Like NAMI's like the biggest fucking mental health organization in the country. All I did was fucking email them and they emailed me back. I'm like, hey, that's a good idea. Let's set up a Zoom meeting. And I've been working with them ever since.
That's crazy.
All from a fucking email.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's like, that's what he said to me before. He's like, you do the podcast, right? He's like, you're not scared to do that? I'm like, yeah, no one's around.
Yeah. But still you reached out to me. You didn't know me. You reached out to me and you're like,
my wife told me about because for a lot of different reasons, my wife runs the Instagram. Yeah. So like I don't see messages, not that I get a lot, but I don't see them right away. And then she told me, I'm like, oh shit. And then I reached out and then we connected. But yeah, you're right. That was hard for me right there.
Yeah.
Because you're like, in my head, I'm like, this guy's going to think I'm a fucking weirdo.
Yeah. No, because it's funny when you reached out. That's why I was just like, you're like, yeah, I'm in Philly and stuff like that. And I was like, definitely. Because like that's exactly where I started. Like, I get it.
Yeah.
I started with fucking having no clients, and I in a gym I would walk into every day and it was empty. You know what I mean? I'm
That's
like,
amazing,
oh, God,
right?
what the fuck?
Where are these people going to be?
Yeah, there's plenty of room. And then Ringside, like I said, we're still growing. So my goal is to get like a member each week. And we're still small, but we're growing. And that's all I care about. I see a new member coming, I get happy as fuck.
Absolutely. I can imagine.
Like over the weekend, it was just 3 of us because everyone was down the shore for July 4th and shit. But we still we had a blast. And it was a new guy that came in and he was like, this is what I needed. And he was an older guy.
Yeah.
And he's like, I fucking needed this, dude. Like, so it just fucking start, dude.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to start. I'm giving you my word. I'm going to come Wednesday, and I'm going to try to connect with you whatever way we think we can put it together. And I'll follow your lead. You know what I mean? We'll see where it goes. Because I need help.
Yeah,
I need help. I struggle with putting myself out there.
Yeah, I have no problem.
Big time, dude.
And Wayne, like we'll fucking me, you, and Wayne will sit down and talk, and like that's what I want to do. I don't want Ringside to be like my own. I want to fucking connect with other organizations and just make it into one big thing.
Yeah.
And like just help as many people as possible.
That's the goal, right? The goal is to help, and that's it. And like even my wife says, like, your goal is to help people, right? And I'm like, yeah, but can I really? You know what I mean? But
your story makes sense. Like your story makes sense. Like the one thing you have that I don't have, is your resilience and the fact that you relapse a bunch of times.
Mm-hmm.
Not many, you know what I mean? Like that's fucking noble in the sense that you continue to try. So like this event shouldn't fucking be anything to you. Like, but the reason that you care so much, the reason that it's this big monster and this big mountain is because you care so much and you're being vulnerable in the fact that you're putting like Anthony out there, not the fuck up. The new transformed Anthony, this new business person that fucking thinks he's good enough for college, but was in second track at Judge, like that guy. You know what I mean? But it's true though, and that's we make all these changes, and now we're like, are we good enough?
Yeah, that's what I struggle with.
Are we good enough? And you'll never know unless you try. And it's so cliche, but like my girl always tells me, like, you just have to do things and just try and just push yourself out there. And like, she's really gotten me out of my shell. And I think it's because like she believes in me, like just as much as I believe in myself. Yeah. And I'm sure your wife is the same with you.
Yeah.
But like, I have no problem supporting whatever you want to do. Like, I'm down for that.
Well, I think
like it's so cool to see, like, because I've been there, dude. Like, I've been there and I'm still there. Like, there's still things that like I'm iffy about.
You're growing as we speak.
Yeah, I don't fucking know everything. Yeah. I graduated judge, dude. I don't know shit. You know what I mean? So it's just like it's just learning. But what I do know is if you never put yourself out there and you never try, all it is an idea.
Yeah.
And that's all it'll ever fucking be to you. And those fucking PowerPoints are just gonna sit on your fucking computer. Well, maybe a few people read them, but it's just an idea. Now, what did we talk about earlier with your recovery? We talked about no more fucking talking and action. So now it's time to just put it in action.
Well, let me give me the honor of sending me your email, and I'll send them to you today. At least you can take a look at them.
Yeah.
And then that's something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And even if I could like be a part of like one of your events as a support staff, like just to see how you guys do things, like I think that would be helpful for me. Like just to be a part of something.
Yeah.
That's not me. You know what I mean? Because I need to grow my recovery and my life. And like my network is construction managers. You know what I mean? And it's a lot, dude. It's a lot. Even talking to you about it, I get overwhelmed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like the hardest part was starting to make the presentation. I did that.
Yeah, it's the hardest part.
Yeah, and then I sent it out to a stranger. I did that, but there hasn't been much follow through or follow up on it. So
yeah, because it's like
it's scary.
It's scary. It is. But like the cool thing about it is like when it's ready and you talk to Bud about it and you just bring up the idea and you get what he thinks about it. Just don't take it for what he says. Put it into action. Start sending emails and everything like that. And even if you don't go through Judge, like once the presentation's ready, reach out to other organizations and other schools and other youth programs, things of that nature? Because that's what you want to hit, right? You want to deal with kids.
I really want to help kids out.
Yeah.
Because I feel like my schooling and my MBA program is professional level. However, I get into a different field professionally, but it's kids that are important to me. It's getting in front of kids. Because, I was if we're being honest, I was a drug addict in high school. I just didn't know it.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? And, I'm not unique. You're not unique in that respect.
No.
And so, like, just to be in front of a group of kids at a place where I went that was in my head, that would feel special to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But again, it's a process, man. It's a process. It's fucking scary.
Mm-hmm.
It's scary. I applaud all your efforts, dude. I mean, like, it sounds like you're doing your best every day to branch out with Ringside to help people in whatever capacity possible.
Right.
And like, I would like to get to a point myself in that kind of respect. You know what I mean? It's just
because it is limitless, and there's so many.
Yeah.
There's so many.
You're passionate. You're authentic.
Right. There's so many. Thanks. I appreciate it. There's so many big organizations that want people like us, because at a certain point they can only help certain criteria people where they need kind of boots on the ground.
Yeah, well, we're in it.
Correct.
We've been in it.
Right.
It's not like a cookie cutter, I learned this at school type program.
Right.
Like, this is because I was at the worst place in my life.
Right.
And here's how I got out of it. And here's how this may help you get out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we'll take a look at it.
We'll keep in touch. I'm going to see you. Listen, I'm going to email you today. That's my word. I'm coming Wednesday. And then we'll just see. And if the worst thing out of this is a new friendship, then I'd be happy with that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because, like, it sounds like we have a lot of same issues, dude. And I appreciate you doing this big time.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate you bringing me here and fucking. It was fun. I mean, we could talk for hours, and that's
we'll do a
that's the cool thing.
That's the best part about this. Like, we can always do another one.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
When we put our event together, we'll do a follow up.
No doubt. I appreciate it, Aaron.
Yes, sir.
I guess I want to end it this way.
Love you, bro.
Yeah.
We love you, Dad.
I love all of you.
We love you, daughter.
I love you too. That was nice. And I tell you what, let's go.